What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Game Over Greggy Show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, back from the dead Nick Scarpino. Yeah. Whoa, wow, that was crazy. Nothing. I missed you. I mean, I
missed you back.
You've
been doing this thing for fucking ever, and I always forget to do it, but you do the iced coffee.
Yeah.
And I always think to myself, I look at it, I'm like, God, why didn't I ice my coffee?
Yeah.
Why didn't I do it?
Because you're silly. You work out now, so I don't think you sweat as much. That's what it is.
No, I still sweat a lot.
Because the thing is, San Francisco recently had a heat wave.
Fuck, it was
and when it got super, super hot, I overcooked. And I'm always running hot, but it's literally got to the point that once that started, I couldn't cool down anymore, and I couldn't wear sweatshirts, and I had to start taking cold showers. I take cold showers now.
Wow.
Because I've
just
overheated.
changed your life?
No, not, well, I mean,
it's been cold the last like 3 days.
yeah, well, and again, time warp. But again, yeah, it's like I still am doing it, yeah, because I have to keep my core temperature down.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I start overheating and I start sweating. Part of it's the pants. I should probably just suck it up and just wear shorts all the time, but I don't want to do that.
Don't wear pants.
Wear
Yeah,
shorts.
don't wear pants.
Huh?
Wear some cargo shorts, man.
Maybe
They're functional.
we could paint them on, paint the pants on.
We could
and
do
it'd be
that.
a different
We
thing.
could
you
do
know
that.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Over there,
I'm
the
not
pure
gonna
one
do
at
that.
Tim Gettys.
Let Tim host. This is the first show I've done with you in weeks.
In a while.
It's crazy.
In a while.
I feel.
I don't
all
even. Did
tingly.
you guys have? Wait, what? Are we in time warp still? Am I allowed to say?
We're
when
recording this way in advance of when it posts in October. I knew we'd fuck it up, but it was like a record even for us to fuck it up. I was like, well, it's been a heat wave recently.
I mean, the heat wave's not going away. No viewer is going to be like, Tim said it's been cold the last 3 days. It wasn't cold in San Francisco.
But
if
it
you
might,
just rolled with
might
it
be the
would've been
fact.
fine.
It might be the fact that we've been around Nick nonstop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right now, as we record this, Nick's been off for a week. We haven't seen him in forever.
It's true.
That makes sense. I
Yeah.
did mess it up there.
No,
You're
yeah,
right.
I messed it up too. There's nothing
It's
to mess
okay.
up.
You're right. I was getting on you for getting on me about the weather, but you were talking about something else. I admit defeat. I like to let people know when I'm wrong. Like when I got 2 LaCroix instead of a coffee. I wanted to get a coffee. I'm going to get a coffee.
Oh my god!
I looked over at Tim's.
Actually,
Actually, I didn't look over. Kevin called attention to Tim's wastebasket at his desk.
It is nuts.
yeah, I did not see it. What's
like
happening
It
at the
was you
wayback?
that called attention.
No,
to it.
I
Someone
was
looked
just staring at
over.
it in awe.
And
like
now,
10 in
granted,
there.
we
Yeah.
only really kind of clean the place once a week, so we don't empty the waste bins but once a week.
Can I just real quick say?
Sure.
And joining us, Kris Anka.
Sure.
Hi.
Hey, Kris.
Chris, I'm sure. Oh, here comes the wastebasket. We don't even need an image of it.
Yeah,
This
look
is
at
the
that.
real wastebasket for Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First off, you're putting him in the recycling eventually, right? Yeah. Okay, just making sure.
No, he's not.
No, he's not at all. No.
He
think
said
the
yes
housekeeper-
because.
And that's what it's Friday as we record this. So that's a week's worth, or is that just?
Well, the housekeeper comes Tuesday.
Housekeeper came
evening,
Tuesday?
Tuesday in the morning. They
Okay.
can hear me. I'm talking
Oh,
about my
I know. Yeah.
It's about 3.5 days.
Yeah.
It's pretty
A
good.
lot. That's
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of
not
LaCroix
good.
for that.
Yeah, I worry. I mean, I'm not really. I got no ground to stand on because I drink nothing but coffee.
Yeah.
But I don't think it could be healthy to have that much sparkling water.
I don't know if you caught this on Twitter the other day.
Yeah.
In the Time Warp, one of the more recent episodes that went live had the Starbucks topic in it.
Okay.
Someone responded on Twitter after I put out that topic on Twitter of, oh, I can't believe you guys like Starbucks. And I was like, what gave it away? I didn't tweet this because I was about to tweet, what gave it away? Nick having a Starbucks cup every episode
Yeah.
for 200 weeks?
Yeah.
And then I was like, maybe he's an audio listener. Maybe he doesn't know. But even then, at some point, you've seen a shot of this. You've seen a screenshot of this,
No,
Chris.
I think more likely that person was reacting to the fact that that is like the #1 response I get from people when I talk about coffee and Starbucks. Like I'll say I love coffee, and they go, "Oh, what's your favorite place?" And they go, "Starbucks."
Yeah.
And people are like, "No, no serious coffee drinker goes to Starbucks," and it's true. I'm an enigma. I'm an anomaly.
Well, we've
You know
known
what
that
I'm saying?
for a while.
I walked into a Pete's Coffee.
Yeah.
With the Starbucks the other day. I got a venti iced coffee because I like the iced coffee because they give it to you in the big boy cup.
Yeah.
The big boy cup.
Yeah.
But I wanted to brew some coffee, and oh, doctor, Pete's has some really good beans.
Oh, you
that
wanted
can
to
get
get-
freshly ground there. They
yeah.
freshly grind them for
Sure.
you. I know Starbucks does it too, but it doesn't matter. I like the Pete's beans, and I like the Starbucks venti iced coffee. I walked in, and I got a disapproving nod from the person serving the coffee, and I had to charm her. I was like, I know this is not allowed. I know I'm doing something wrong. Listen, I know I'm doing this wrong.
Yeah.
And but I was like, what I got to tell you though is I'm trying to get converted over to Pete's. So what I need you to do for me is I need you to walk me through what's your like most chocolatey coffee. It has hints of chocolate, and she
Sure.
walked me through. By the end of it, I converted her.
Got a
and she
number?
gave me a little free shot of nitro. No, I'm a married man, Greg.
I know.
I'm a married man.
But you gotta, it's like,
Gotta
even
keep
if you
it
have a
blade
gun,
sharp.
you take it to the testing range. You know what I mean? And you have
The
these
testing
skills.
range, yeah.
You are everything is attracted to you. You got to keep that knife
you
sharp.
got to keep the tool sharpened. It's
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
It's very
okay.
true.
Now, Chris,
Yes.
you're here for a variety of reasons. People would know you. They know your work. You are an artist at Marvel Comics.
I am.
What do you work on?
Just this week, Time Warp, we launched Runaways.
Right.
So that's what I've been doing for the last few months.
That's awesome. Before that, you're working on Star-Lord.
Yeah, I did Star-Lord, Captain Marvel, some Uncanny X-Men, some other odds and ends.
Now, Star-Lord, I think people would know you for is that you put a P.S. I Love You shirt in there.
I did, issue 1, I know.
You're fucking awesome.
I know, I had to do something. It's been years, and it was because I saw another artist did the Kind of Funny logo in Spider-Man.
Yep.
So I was like, well, fuck it. If we can,
We're doing it.
If he can do
We're going
that,
for
then I
it.
can do this.
And I'm saying it, Marvel Comics, DC Comics, whoever you are, if you're a comic book, go ahead and put the logo in and stuff.
I actually
Go
saw
ahead, have some
someone
fun.
at a convention recently made that shirt.
Which one? P.S. I Love You?
Yeah. So
Well, we will sue that man.
That exists in the
that person, that is litigation. That will be trouble, yeah. And here's the other thing I want to say.
You could have just made it your own.
If kind of funny, if you want to put kind of funny merch in these things, just to use the real merch, draw the real merch.
feel
I'm
free
totally
to.
fine to do that. Yeah,
You
know what I
could
mean?
put a little link to the store in there too.
Fucking
Every little
Just
bit
on the bottom
helps.
of the panel.
Yeah.
Asterisk.
It's Andre, right, or whatever, who keeps putting the Spider-Man and Generation Gone people in a hoodie we don't sell. I'm like, we sell a hoodie. Put them in that hoodie. God dang it. However, that's great. You're here not because of the Marvel stuff. You're here because you're a legit best friend. You actually have watched all these shows. You consume this content.
I've been watching you for 7-8 years now, something like that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And you're
like
still not
09.
over it? You're still didn't realize that
no,
it's a bad
like-
use of your time?
No, it's good. It gives me something to do every morning. You know, I get to watch the games daily once a day. It's nice.
Nice.
Except for yesterday, because apparently the link went up real goddamn late.
We don't know
On the
what
podcast.
happened with
Yeah,
that.
SoundCloud didn't
I
play
don't
nice with that.
understand.
We don't have an answer for why that
Yeah.
was.
It's fixed though, right?
Yeah, now it's
it was,
fixed.
it was
Yeah,
up
yeah.
this
One
morning.
and it
Yeah, I
works?
saw it this
Yeah,
morning.
we jumped in there. Kevin got on it.
Did
Kevin did his
today's
thing.
get up?
I don't know.
I mean, as far as we know.
Can you check your podcast app, Kev?
Kev's gonna check. Well, don't tingle.
I'm gonna do it.
Don't
I'm
tingle.
gonna do
You're
it.
gonna do it. All right, fine.
Just tingle his balls.
He did do that.
Jesus Christ.
And now the one thing I want to toss down just your repertoire, because we're not even talking about like your career. You're here to just be part of the show because you love the show and you're a good dude. I want to point out the fact you told me you worked on the Ninja Turtles cartoon.
I did
What?
for about
What
a
is
year.
that?
Yeah,
That's
the
fucking
CG
awesome.
one. Yeah,
And Marvel was trying to steal him away from it. And he wouldn't have it.
They didn't try. They did.
Okay, well they succeeded. I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. I was there about the end of season 1 into the beginning of season 2.
Wow.
That's a good
Yeah.
show. We
What
like
would
Rob
you do
Paulson.
on it? Writing or art?
I
or-
did some storyboards for the first half, and then they boomed me over to prop design, which means like, do you remember the Frazetta E posters in Raph's room?
Uh-huh.
I did those.
That is awesome.
Yeah, they had me for like specific things where they didn't want to like build new assets. So it was like, can you just like make this egg burst, but like draw the burst egg? I'm like, okay, so I would just do those things that would actually appear on screen. So posters, computer screens, TV shows, stuff like that. I did.
Fantastic show.
Yep.
You should check it out if you haven't.
You're cool. I like the best friends doing cool stuff and having cool jobs.
It's nice.
It is. It's helpful.
We're adults still.
It doesn't
Yeah,
look like
exactly.
it's up.
It doesn't look like it's up. Joey Noel will look into it hopefully maybe during this. Somebody will. Oh, Kevin's doing something now. Kevin's got something to say about Kind of Funny Games Daily from the Time
He
Warp.
just went like this.
I mean, I'm looking on here, and it's at 1,900 listens, which the
Oh,
last
that
one
sounds
only
like it
had
should be up on
300.
things, yeah. Well, we'll check it out after this. Or
I'll
Joey
have to.
can continue to look at it, because this is the Game Over Greggy show each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each bring a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can toss us a couple bucks and get a whole bunch of cool perks like watching it early. How early, Kris?
I don't know. How early?
So early, you're watching it live right now.
Oh, there you
for
go.
just $1. You can also get early episodes of Cooking with Greggy and early stuff we put up
He
then.
does that sometimes. Mostly he does it to me just to make sure that I'm
Awake.
when he sees me zoning out, he goes over and he does it to me, and then it's just embarrassing.
Here's
So-
what I'll say right now before I get into the rest of the rigmarole. This is gonna be a great episode. Nick and I delivered probably. I heard people saying it's up for the best Kind of Funny morning show of all time.
There's
It's
been
good.
rumblings.
It got
Yeah.
nominated.
I do still fucking hate the fact that you're using the Christmas cup but not writing in the date. How many days till Christmas? That's the joke. That's the gag of the thing. Get him some
37.
chalk.
Sure.
If you don't want to toss us any bucks, no big deal. You can go to youtube.com/kindafunny the following week where we break it out topic by topic, day by day, until it goes up as one big video and MP3 the following Friday, unless SoundCloud eats it, and then it goes nowhere. 101 days, like 101 Dalmatians.
How many days has it been since Kevin got bongoed?
That's a great question. If only there was a cool website.
It's being bad at updating.
Oh, it's being bad at updating.
Fucking
Remember 102 Dalmatians?
Vaguely, I didn't see
Was
it.
Glenn close in that too? Remember how she was Cruella
must have
DeVille
been.
in the first one?
Yeah, she didn't die. Or so.
Oh, this is another live action movie they did?
yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the
Yeah, I
cartoon.
thought they made another cartoon. I didn't know they made
No,
another.
it was live action.
To really continue the time warping,
Yes.
Jen's sister in town.
Uh-huh.
Turns out, when they were growing up, like most kids, they were really big into these Disney movies. So we started joking around and singing some of these songs, but of course they watched them in Quebec French. So then we went on YouTube and started watching all these different versions of A Whole New World and Little Mermaid songs, and it's fucked up.
It is
It's fucked up to hear like this melody
I'd
you
imagine.
know with
Yeah,
all
I'd
this other
imagine,
stuff,
yeah.
and then for me to sing the English one and like they're like that's not what it translated to over here. That's not what they did.
It's weird. Yeah, I had to watch Lion King in Spanish class. I kind of liked that though.
I'm sure you did. Oh,
El Rey.
How do you say Hakuna
Leon
Matata
Rey.
in Spanish?
we
just
watched
did it.
Yeah, exactly. In French, they did just Hokuto Matata.
It was a joke.
Why would it be funny? Why would that be? Why would that
And
be?
then
a
why,
joke?
different-
once
it's a
again, you
foreign
wink
word.
on the wrong. Like
Why are you winking
need to
at
wink
me?
on the
I
correct
can't
side.
see.
No, because what I like to do is I like to like put you off a little bit, give you a little wink, and then when
keeps
you're
us
off
off.
your game, I laugh.
Yeah.
I just laugh a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Nick,
Yeah.
what's your topic?
Halloween.
Oh,
is
okay.
coming up, and we're in a time warp, so Halloween's probably tomorrow or the day after.
This is going up
podcast goes
on
live.
Patreon as one big video and early access MP3 on the 6th of October.
Yeah, we had an ongoing joke for a while that now that I'm thinking about it, we probably did already on one of these episodes of the podcast. But Halloween costumes, what would you go as? What's your describe
Now-
to me your ideal Halloween at this point?
Now,
in
the
your life.
one thing about this, of course, before we get into this,
Yeah.
is the fact. Remember, we're throwing a Halloween party at my house this year. Y'all have the Facebook invites. It's in
I
your
didn't know that.
Facebook events. Check your Facebook events.
Really?
Yeah.
That
It's been
makes me
confirmed.
incredibly excited.
So this
sir.
is not, hey, hypothetically, what would you do? This is what are you motherfuckers going to do at my house on Halloween? Chris, you're invited.
Okay, cool. I was about to say I don't have an invite.
Where are you
didn't-
from? Are you from around
LA.
here?
I'm
LA.
LA.
Okay, cool.
It's easy. He can pop up
That's
here.
an
It's
hour
easy.
flight, yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? You got something better to do? No.
No, God no.
God, no.
No, I don't really do Halloween.
So then, now that I've had to rephrase your own
I
question,
just got excited.
What are you gonna be?
Scared, nervous. This went from theoretical
yeah, now it's got to be real.
to reality.
Yeah,
real, man.
100%.
I don't know, man. You're taking it up a notch for me.
Because this is the thing. Remember, we
Somehow saying that word that loud hurt my knee. I don't know, and I shifted my weight and it popped my knee. Just wanted
oh
you to
my
know
god!
that.
One day you're just gonna poof into dust in front of us and fall
That
right
hurt.
there.
All right, it's an old meniscal injury.
So now there are multiple threads to this that have been weaved throughout Kind of Funny lore.
yeah,
In the way that for years, Kevin Coelho
Yeah.
has been trying to get everyone to go
That's the best idea ever.
sexy kittens.
sexy kittens.
So good.
All the men in black leotards with the tail, the painted on whiskers, the little cat ears.
That's it.
The thing is, if someone orders me this costume, and by someone I mean Kevin should order all these after this, give my credit card and we'll go. I will go as sexy kittens for this.
I mean, just black leotards, right?
Yeah.
But well, so you can't just be a sexy cat. It needs to be all of us.
Yeah,
As the
that's what I'm
kid
saying.
That's what he's saying. He's
Somebody
saying-
needs to take a head
To
count.
do it? Yeah.
Like, who's going to do this? All the guys are going to do it. Great. 8, and then get the sizing and all that stuff and be
See-
down for it.
Stay on up there, Kev. Yeah.
What I was hoping for is that we all do sexy kittens except for Nick, and he is one of the cats from
Cats the musical.
Cats musical.
Or can I be the cat from Kiss? Remember that guy?
Sure.
Yeah, no, that
That'd be
would
Paul
work
Stanley?
too.
You know what I mean?
Was he the cat?
Wasn't one Star-Lord? No, that's the one you draw. What's
There's one with the star in his face.
sorry,
yeah.
what was that guy's name? They all had names in Kiss, right? Doesn't matter. The cat was the best because he was
Starchild.
Star
You're talking
Child.
about
Thank you.
You too. There's the Edge and
Christian,
Bono.
Edge and Christian.
Yeah.
Is it the Edge or just Edge? It's
I
the
thought it
Edge,
was
right?
the
I think it's the.
Edge,
I think
right?
it's the Edge. I think
It's
you're
really
right.
the edge. Jeez.
You're like, I have less respect for you two now. Now, the other thing, though, that started on the morning show a long time ago was the idea that we would all go as
Yeah.
professional wrestlers
Yes.
from WWE.
That's
And
you tried desperately to get that going.
I had
All of us
Kevin
disagree.
Coelho on board because he looked like Peruvian Mick Foley. And it looked great. Joey Noel, by the way, I know you're listening to this live as it goes. What I need you to do is go get me my wallet off my desk, too, for a separate bit. It would have been perfect. Then Kevin cut his hair and lost a bunch of weight. And now he doesn't. Now he looks like Rahul Kohli. And I think he has to go as Rahul for Halloween.
Oh, you could get Paula to go.
As Liv from iZombie.
Yeah.
How's this fitting? Kev?
Paula wants to do, I think, like Khal Drogo and Daenerys. So
You don't sound like you're excited about that because that's a
That sounds
because that's
terrible.
what I call a played out bitch costume.
I told her that next year
Not-
when the series ends, that might be a good callback, or I can grow the hair out again.
If anything,
Do a
what
Jon
you
Snow.
she should go as Jon Snow and you go as Sam whatever the fuck his name is.
Tarly.
Samuel Tarly.
Yeah, there you go. How about that?
That's,
That's
not
good.
a bad idea.
Right?
a great
Because you look a
idea.
lot like him,
No,
but you've lost all the
goddammit,
weight again.
Sexy kittens. We're going as a group ensemble. It's a group
Sexy
thing.
Kittens is funny for the first time you
No.
see it, right?
It's
For the
hilarious.
one
Think
social
about-
media.
Think about
Best
the
thing
social
ever.
media
Hilarious.
post.
I mean, it's gonna be
We'll wear 'em.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Here's what we should do. You know what are they called? They look like one piece. Is it a
Thanks,
leotard?
unitard. Unitard.
But we have to do the white stockings also. for the sexy kittens. You
No,
know what I
I
mean?
think
No, it's
all
just-
black. You
it
got to do
needs to
all
be-
black, little
yeah.
lines.
I
Same outfits
basically
that
think we should
Haley
start-
wore in
Oh,
Modern
and the
Family.
ears.
We should
The
start
ears
with
are
the
super
base.
important.
Can I look like Garfield?
Yeah, we should. Yes,
As long
yes.
as it's that version of Garfield, yes.
I think we should. What the base unit we should look like is Tim Curry from Rocky Horror Picture Show, from the neck down,
Yep.
neck up,
Okay.
whiskers, little ears.
Yeah.
So I feel like we should go all in.
Is this good? Is this a good
I
costume?
think that's a good one. Yeah. I think it just goes Rocky Horror Picture Show and just everyone in corsets.
We could do that. But the thing is this, it's about shock value, right? It's about, okay, Tim came as a sexy kitten. Isn't that cute? Oh, Greg's a sexy. Every guy at this party is a sexy kitten. Think about that. If we get every single guy to show up as a sexy kitten, just to fuck with everyone else out there that didn't get the memo, that would be great. And
Sure.
by that I mean all the women. All the
Yeah,
women
but I mean,
folk.
they'll know. They'll become with the guys.
They won't.
Yeah,
so
but
you'll
they'll
be like,
think
hey, I
that-
got a funny idea for a costume. To my
I would be
wife, who
sexy
will
kitten.
not come to your party because she does not
Sure.
leave the house and hates
No,
Halloween.
whatever. She came to the housewarming party.
She
She
hates
party.
Halloween, though. Hates it.
I don't. Here's
Thinks
what
it's for children,
Here's
and
what I'll
she's
say. Your wife's a lovely woman. I love seeing her.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like Halloween, you're a monster.
You're dead to you.
You're a monster.
Yeah.
Halloween, of course, the best holiday, as declared here on the GameOverGreggy Show,
Holla.
episode 4.
Day.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
That was
What-
the episode that I think was called "Greg Miller is actually insane."
No. I don't think so.
I think it
I don't
was.
know if that checks out about it. You know what I mean? Chris,
I'm gonna-
is this the best holiday, Halloween?
No.
God fucking damn
I'm a
it.
Christmas guy.
Oh, Christmas is great.
Christmas
Second best
is dope
holiday.
as fuck.
Christmas. No, third. It's Christmas tied for second with Thanksgiving. Ask me why? Pumpkin spice everything. God bless it.
He
God
went
bless
again.
it. Came back.
You're not used to it. I forgot that we're used to it.
Went to Denmark. Came back. Pumpkin spice everything's happening.
Is it here? Is pumpkin spice here?
Yep, starting to go.
You need to
It's
start bringing me the
starting to
pumpkin spice lattes.
I'll get there, buddy.
Come on, buddy.
I'm there every morning.
I want them
Every
iced.
morning.
Wait, so Greg, have you
Can I
put
do
thought
that?
into what you're gonna do for this Halloween party? And by that I mean I know you've put thought into it. What are you gonna do?
Of course. Well, the problem, of course, is that I got married.
yeah.
And so
Now you have to
Didn't
do
know that.
Stupid couple.
I've never
costume.
talked about it. Well, no, it's not stupid, actually, because when you're in love with someone and you've partnered with them for life, they're your partner in crime and everything.
Just like Kevin was like, you fucking Khal Drogo. Khal Drogo hasn't been on the show in 18 seasons. Nobody remembers that fucking character.
What I wanted to do, and I've talked about it forever, is the gender bending role reversal Undertaker Paul Bear.
That's not
Oh, you're
any
the
of
one with
those
the
things.
Stick with me. It kind of is. It half is. It half is. It half is. It half is. No, what I want to do is I want Jen to dress as Undertaker.
Yeah.
Maybe Paul Bear. But as you remember, of course, Undertaker very tall, Paul Bear very short.
Both male.
So then, so I've gender bended one of them.
Right.
Now Undertaker would be short.
height bending.
Well, no, it's half gender bender because now Jen's being the Undertaker, but he's a man, but she's a woman.
Yes.
Then I'm gonna be tall Paul Bear. So yes, it's more of a gender height bend. All right, you know what
What
I mean?
if I'm gonna throw you for a fucking curveball?
'Kay.
What if you went as Princess Leia and she went as an Ewok,
I mean, like,
like a
Ewok?
sexy Ewok?
But the,
I think she's
that would
done
be-
that costume
that would
before,
be
but I also don't like.
go to there.
Oh, wow.
Ewok. If you're, I wouldn't. Out of all the pairings in Star Wars, I've never like Princess Leia, Ewok.
Fucking wicked
that's what the
Ewok.
entire
Well, I
movie
get
is.
that. I get that. But
He's
still,
with her the whole movie.
the whole
The
movie.
whole time. She
Remember,
wakes
she
up,
feeds
he's
him like
fucking
she
there.
feeds him some food.
Yeah, she cuddles him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's yeah, exactly. You remember these lines?
Yeah.
These are the infamous.
What if
Oh, God.
you went as R2D2 and she went as C3PO?
These are all great things. You know, I'm not the biggest Star Wars guy. I'd prefer not to just invest in this thing, or I'm making metachlorian
What
jokes.
if
Now, what if I?
What if you went
You're
as Batman v Superman and she went as a good movie?
Chris, you're on my side. I would say, what if I went as Watto and she came as sexy slave Anakin?
Sexy slave Anakin.
Hey, I see these sexy Leia's slaves all the time.
yeah.
It's about time we gender bended the role and made
nice.
fucking sexy slave
He was a
Anakin.
child.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with it. Get that little bowl cut going.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're right. You're right.
Jake
You're
Lloyd.
right.
God,
Yeah.
that's so
yeah.
This is
good.
pod racing. Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
exactly,
pod
exactly,
racing.
exactly.
I've always wanted to do one of those things though, where you reach out to everyone that's going to the party or anything. Like in the office, remember we had IGN. You want to get a clique together, and people would go as like themed costumes. I always wanted us to do that. Like I wanted us to go as the X-Men and just like have fun with like Kevin.
So you're just LARPing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like that. Yes, like Kevin.
Remember, we
I
had
would
the
love to
idea it was
be-
going to be the XL Men. It was going to
yeah,
be good.
that's right.
And then we never did it.
Yeah, we're
That
fucking
when we
losers.
first sold the Team Vat shirt, that was the plan.
Really?
We were gonna make the XL Men thing and like have a whole thing, and then we just didn't because we're us.
Yeah, we get busy. Things happen. Chris, what are you doing for Halloween?
I don't know. LA doesn't have a really big Halloween culture.
Come up here.
But what I've started doing, because I'm a Christmas guy, I start wearing Christmas costumes for Halloween.
God. Wait,
so
what?
last year one was a reindeer.
Okay.
So I'll probably like, there's Santa's always like a back burner, but you try to do something that's
easy.
Yeah, exactly. Like you want to go.
went
I
as
like the
Santa one
reindeer though.
time.
That's a step further.
It was like it was like a big suit, made it real easy. Made me very popular with people at parties.
Sure.
It was like a soft, but I can't access pockets, and that sucked. I had to like unzip and like dig in to like find stuff, and
Just
that was not fun.
cut it open next time.
See, in the
That just
same
seems barbaric.
in the same vein of
Venison.
it's easy, of course, is that I have my Ghostbusters outfit that I love so much, and I have, of course, this has been the calendar year where I got the awesome Proton Pack, right? Ted House, kind of funny best friend.
Time warp.
You go as Bill Murray, and she goes as a proton pack. Just hold on to you the entire time.
See, that's not bad.
Or
Now
you
you're starting
go
to
as
think.
Luke Skywalker, and she goes as Yoda. Hold on
Well,
to
when
you
we
the
started
entire
getting into the weeds and she didn't want to do the Undertaker thing, I was like, well, I mean, the fallback's always going to be that I'm going to be the Ghostbuster. And then
You're gonna be Slimer.
And I was like, Slimer. And she's like, well, what that look like? I'm like, we put pasties on you. We paint you green. She's like, no, I'm not going to do that.
If you need help for that, let me know.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you're stepping up for that one. You're stepping up for that one. Tim, what's your
Yes.
plan? You're coming to this party.
Oh yeah.
What-
the
what-
moment that we got the Evite, Gio was like, "You know what we're doing, right?" And I was like, "No, I
Bachelor
don't."
in Paradise.
And no, it's a brilliant idea though. It's right on this table.
Oh, LaCroix?
We're gonna be LaCroix cans.
You're going to be LaCroix cans.
Do they sell those or you have to make
I'm
that?
sure they sell them at this
No,
point.
you have to make them. They don't sell them.
Okay.
So that's on her. If she does it, I'm doing it.
So
If
walk
she-
me through this.
If
How
she doesn't, I'm a sexy cat.
So how what is the initial? What do the drawings look like? What are the blueprints, for this
Blueprints
look
of it?
like? Yeah.
I don't know. I got Kevin, so I'll probably lean on him after.
I
His
feel like
wedding.
there's one of two ways to go. You either do a trash can that you then repurpose and you put the suspenders on. You got
Yeah.
it like that. Also, like you're like going over the Niagara
I
Falls
think it'd
thing.
be the suspenders are how I see it in my head.
Okay.
How do you
or
walk around
get,
in that?
You get cardboard and you cut it out of a LaCroix can and you put it over like that, like slats. Hard to walk in. Also, that's what I did in the second grade play where I was an apple. And I don't recommend doing that.
I'm going to throw this
You were
out
an
at you.
apple. What was the context?
You know how you're a kid?
You have lines?
Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm Apple. I'm sure you'll agree. I'm full of great things like vitamin C. There's another line I think after that. That's like the main one I remember.
How do you remember that?
Was it traumatizing?
Well, it's like you're in
Burned
second
in?
grade, right? Like you got to go up and say lines or whatever. It was like, yeah, you were terrified.
So
You're
you
gonna fuck this up.
memorized it to your 34.
It's an easy thing.
Shit like that.
It rhymes. It's easy. Now I also remember Gary Morris's line because he was French fries, and so he came out in a little beret and a little mustache and a bad French accent. It's like something about being Frenchy. Hi, I'm
Super
Frenchy, a
denigrating to
potato
French.
that's fried, and then something else horrible about like why you
You
shouldn't
make
eat
fun of
French
me, I'm
fries.
going to punch you in the fucking eye.
But no, you know how that was. Like you do these things, you're afraid you're gonna fuck them up.
I
Or
barely remember that year.
really?
Yeah.
I guess this is when I knew I needed to be in the limelight. Now I don't remember any of my lines from the plays. You know, I was in plays in high school and stuff, and those are all gone.
Well, when
I
you were
also
an
wore
apple.
I also wore a cutout for that one too. When I was the guy from I was in Earn. I was the grandpa who died. Or
So
dad
you were
who
just
died.
getting ready for
What?
this Undertaker.
Yeah, exactly.
Barbaric
Yeah. And it was traditional St. Francis High School bullshit drama department stuff.
You went
where
to
they,
St. Francis High School?
Yeah, where they promised that they were gonna borrow this like nice like foam urn thing and it would look awesome. And then like the day before they just fucking made me one out of cardboard. I was like, you fucking, I can't work under these conditions. You know what I'm saying? like I can't be a thespian like
Yeah.
this.
In the second grade, I was a rainbow for Halloween. That's a true story. I have pictures. I don't know if I can get them for this episode.
Okay.
Not.
But yeah, my
Was
mom
that
made me
by
do
choice or was-
no,
okay.
my mom was real hippie
Yeah.
and she would make costumes.
Sure.
I wanted to be Spider-Man. I ended up being a rainbow.
Yeah. To recap, I know people, Chris, I know you've listened to this show before. I know this has been heard before, so I'm sorry, everybody. But you remember my parents had to be broken of bad Halloweens, where they initially were the same thing. They wouldn't let me get cool costumes. I wouldn't get any fun stuff like that. And then they are also the house on the block that gave away markers instead of candy. And remember, not even full sets of markers, individual markers. And
These
not
highlighters?
not Crayola markers. Those like super thin, all one
God.
color, shitty
The
fucking
one where
things.
like you draw with it for approximately 5 seconds and it would run out.
Yep, exactly.
That was the or it wouldn't even work. You'd take the fucking
Yep.
cap off and
Yeah.
it wouldn't even work.
Yeah,
Maybe they were
100%.
being super progressive. Maybe
ones
they were
that
just like, hey,
smell
get
good,
high
though?
off this marker.
Yeah, at least scented at least.
Yeah.
I don't know. These are like, they were picking these up at Aldi or whatever. I don't know. No good.
That's horrible.
Yeah,
that
it's
was
horrible.
the fucking worst.
What?
Just not candy. No candy on Halloween.
Sure.
I'm excited about this. I'm getting back into it because I love Halloween, but I don't like having to do anything. So the fact that you're going to do a lot of this, and I just get to show up with a bottle of alcohol in a cool present, a cool costume. I'm very excited about this.
Well, remember, that was the thing. Last year we tried unsuccessfully to get a kind of funny Halloween party.
We're thinking about throwing a big party.
Yeah, and then we were
also
like, that's a lot of work.
A lot of work. Well, it occurred to us also 15 days before Halloween.
Yeah,
We were like,
so-
you know what?
Sure.
We're not going to do this.
Yeah.
We're thinking maybe throw something in the studio, but then it's just we got too much shit in the studio.
Sure.
It's not big enough.
Sure.
One day I'd like to do that, though. But you're throwing a party. You're taking care of it.
So I feel like you guys have to. Well, you're done. You're not doing. Sexy Kittens isn't happening.
I mean,
End
but
of story.
No, but it totally could. I will.
It
turn
could
my
happen.
back on
It
Gia
won't.
instantly.
You think this
to be
guy's
a
going to turn
sexy
his back
cat.
on Paul? You heard the defeat in his voice when he's like, "I'm going to be Keldra."
He's going to be married to her, though. She can't get away then. So who cares?
I'm just telling you, he's got to pick his battles.
I
This
feel
is
like
not the
this
battle to
picture's
go
not
for.
sassy enough. Can you
can you
click on
find
the
some-
bottom?
Yeah, you
Show
need
him.
something
Show
a
everybody
little-
what's
Yeah,
happening.
thank
Show everybody
you.
what's happening. We're looking on Amazon.com.
Sorry, we got to be really careful when you search for unitards on Amazon. Shit gets really risky really quickly.
Okay,
guys.
but you
is
found
true.
this one. This is what you're thinking for Sexy Kittens.
Hold
Can you
on.
at least go a little bit more lower cut though? Like,
Yeah, I
Where's the
kind of want
chest
to be
hair?
I feel like
sexy.
it still needs to be like a bathing
Okay, hold
suit.
on a second. I'm gonna hide it because
With-
Wait, go back and show me
Hold on.
some of the risque ones.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
It's getting there.
No, right there for the free show. What's the free? What's right there? The free show.
yeah.
Hold on.
This is what I'm talking about. I think it
hide
should just
real
be
quick.
that with some leggings.
There you go.
Whoa!
There you go.
All right.
Nothing.
All right.
I want that in
sexy.
black.
If you want to
That
see,
is what
if you want to,
I'm-
oh, there it
Yes.
is.
No.
It was up for 2
Wind day.
seconds.
Wind day.
Wind day.
It's
Definitely wind
mesh.
day. Click on that. Click on that.
All right,
All right, yeah, now we're getting into dangerous.
All right, if you're at home or you're listening on the audio, we're on here just clicking around Amazon.
Oh my God.
Oh, sexy.
Hold on, let me see. Don't you're not seeing any penis
You're
there.
seeing dick.
Are you really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm getting
if
up to
you,
look.
If you believe, you will succeed.
Nah, there's no dick in that.
Are you kidding me? You can totally see the head of that thing.
I mean, like
You can see the outline of it.
to it, but it's not like.
But it's all pressed in. You can't really see a lot.
Just wear a thong.
You know,
You're
it's
fine.
like a packaged
This
salad.
gets progressively. We're just naked with cat ears. I'm kind of down though. Look at this. We can do it.
That's
we can pull
sexy.
it
It'd
off.
be very popular.
I can be a sexy kid.
I want to see when he comes back. I don't want him to show, but I want him to click on the.
the nude
Kev,
one?
click on the nude one up there for this one
Oh
pack.
Lord. Okay, give me a second. Sorry.
Okay, it's fine. Don't worry.
We're putting him out. We're putting him out.
Now, see that one? I feel like I see some dick there.
Oh well,
seeing
the white
something.
one you for sure see.
We're
some
not
dick.
showing.
You're
this,
seeing
right?
fucking ball cleavage in
But
that
see,
one.
there
Oh,
you go,
he's
a
wearing a
thong.
thong. He's
There
wearing
you
a
go.
thong. We can
okay.
show
Yeah,
this one.
he
That's
is.
very
I don't know if the other
responsible of
guys
him.
were.
Oh,
they're not.
this
Wind
bottom,
day.
Bartsy. Can you click on Bartsy? What's his story?
Jesus.
Bartsy.
You guys are deviating from the plan.
If they have that in leopard print, we're going with that.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
no.
The orange one's
sir.
not bad.
It's not a cat though.
Well, yeah,
Put
no.
ears on anything, it's a cat. It's
It's
fine.
a great
Can you
point,
type
Kev.
it
Put ears on
Right.
anything. It's a
That-
cat.
If you think about it, that kind of looks like Garfield.
No, it
It
looks
does kinda
like
look
a
like Garfield.
Chithra. Was that the name from
Chitara?
Chitara? No, not Chitara.
Chithra.
Who was the one from Thundercats?
Chitara.
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 Yeah, Chitara. Then that's what I meant.
Yeah, of course. Nailed it. Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, type in sexy kitten costume.
I did.
I just want to see what it comes up.
What is this one with
Nothing-
this guy?
nothing-
Crotchless
Google,
underwear
Google
undershirt.
Haley Modern Family
That's not crotch. This is
cat
buttless.
or costume.
Hold on.
Google Cats, the 1980s musical.
That's
Hey,
what we want you to do.
Play the
I would do it
tick
in a
off
heartbeat.
Amazon Prime for me right now. Let's watch
I
that.
hate you guys.
Oh, we hate you too.
No, you don't.
Now, what are the odds, Kevin? Are you admitting defeat and that you're going to be Khal Drogo?
I haven't admitted that yet.
Okay.
But it's highly
That's
probable.
a fucking lame costume.
Are you then going to walk around shirtless and like have the tattoos on and stuff?
Yeah, man. I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
No.
Yeah.
Tell Paula she can come as her
On that-
favorite
on that-
fucking 90s poet or whatever, and you come
Like,
as a sexy kitten.
if she hates poetry.
90s poet. nice.
If,
Come on, dude, it was perfect.
I was gonna
love
say,
Paula.
if I do this, I'm gonna go as hard as possible.
On Drogo or the
Yeah,
kittens?
on Drogo. So
Like-
it will be funny.
Okay. Okay. I'm sure it'll be
I think
fun.
it's gonna be fucking
It
lame.
will be.
Okay. Chris, what's your topic?
So I wanted to ask for years. I remember you making an offhand comment.
Oh. Greg, I don't believe
Me?
Yeah.
about a
You find
raccoon?
Captain America boring, but you love Superman.
Sure.
And I'm just curious why.
So, right. The comment I believe you're referring to, I've made before, and I what I always say is it's a glass house thing. Where when people talk to me about Superman, they're like, "Oh, he's so boring. He's unstoppable. Oh no, he's a Boy Scout." And I'm like, "No, there's all this dimension, blah blah blah." And then as somebody who doesn't know Captain America, that's how I feel about Captain America. Somebody who hasn't read years and years of Captain America comics like I haven't read. So
There's a sexy cat for you.
Yeah. See, I'm
That's
into
the
it.
sexy cat you want us to wear.
I just want,
just
I
jean
want
shorts?
those ears. We need chokers though. That's the key.
Yeah.
that,
We need tails.
So we need a
also.
low cut and we need a choker thing.
We
going
need
on.
tails, the kind that like we gotta have tails.
She has a tail.
I was gonna go.
I
Dark
get what
with
you're
that.
talking about, Nick.
I was gonna go
we've all
dark
been
with
there.
that, yeah.
He's talking about a butt plug with a little furry tail coming out of it.
Oh, I did not. I would not. We could have talked about tails for a long time. I thought he meant a long poop hanging out of his
No.
butt. I don't understand things. Anyways, Captain America.
Yeah.
So
well, what's interesting is that you've seen the movies.
sure,
And
he's
the movies
very
are
boring.
really.
He's very boring in a Boy Scout, and
that's kind
he's
of
the
like the
worst
best
part of
version
every
of
one of his
him.
movies. I love Chris Evans. Yes, I like the idea. I like the Captain America's. You know,
Well, okay, so what do you find boring? Just that he's just a Boy Scout?
yeah. I mean, like what? I mean, like he kissed one girl, and now he's so hooked on her, and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna save me
he
a
kiss
dance and
multiple
shit,
girls?
whatever." Well, I'm talking about in
You don't know what he does in war. It's World War II.
there's like whatever happens in the trenches.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think it's just the fact of he's just like so by the books and so, and I don't mind like. And don't get me wrong, I'm an American kind of guy, fight for the
Is
right.
him brebreaking the law.
Sure, but he feels bad about it the whole time.
He's a war criminal.
You know
He's
what I
trying to
mean?
save his
Yeah,
friend.
but he did it. Though.
Yeah, but and it's also that thing where it's just like, why don't you just talk this out with people first and get more people
Well,
on board?
isn't that every superhero comic of
Sure.
all time? It's just
Right.
like, if someone just said a word about this.
Well, this is
would
the
all
whole
stop.
thing, right? Where the thing is, I think a lot of times when we put comics on screen, whether they be cartoons or movies, you are like,
Yeah.
comics are kind of dumb. Like
Stop-
I love
stop
comics.
for a
Comics are
second, just
my
talk about it. Oh,
favorite
yeah.
thing of like,
But that's
yeah.
just that's the good thing about the comics is that you take something super dumb and
Yeah.
like, let's run with it for 20 issues. It's like cool because it doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
comics.
But no, like I feel like it's just he has no depth. Like so, like I would, and I'll watch them all again because I'm rusty. I should have done this before. But Winter Soldier, right? Like that's the second one where he runs all the time, right?
Yes.
And
Like
can I
that's
just
what he
put out
does.
this here, Greg.
Yeah.
That I wasn't here for the Marvel ranking.
Yeah, you're not a real fan of Marvel
we
movies.
need to redo that episode because y'all fucked it up. Captain America 2 is top tier Marvel movie.
What was
Top
your guys?
tier!
What was your top?
We'd have to go back and
Top
look, but I
7.
think my top was
Mine-
Avengers. I think it was the #1 Marvel
Really?
movie.
I was Avengers as well, but my favorite is Spider-Man. But I said in terms of
The
like
newest one.
Yeah.
Not the electro dubstep one.
No, none of that emo shit. We don't want
Okay,
that crap
alright.
here.
I put
No.
just as an honorable mention, I put Iron Man in my top 5 as well. 'cause I
That's most
loved
people's
Iron
top.
Man.
Yeah.
Where do you come down between Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3?
Nobody debates
Which one's worse?
No, better.
Better. I think 3 because I think Shane Black at least has like it does something more with it.
What was that?
I
Deep
like
Sire
Shane
Kev?
Black.
Didn't
stuff.
agree with that one, Kev?
I rewatched it just recently. Paula started working on the Marvel movie at ILM, and I rewatched many movies, and the ending of 3 is fucking abysmal.
end is
the ending.
abysmal.
House Party?
Watching it, I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." And then the ending, and we were both like, "What the fuck was that? What
Iron
the
Man,
fuck was
not
that?"
traditionally the best third acts. I'll be honest with you right there.
Sure.
If you think about it,
Oh my God, it's Obadiah Stane!
I'm gonna go get you, Tori. And then you're like, oh, it's over.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
good
Third
movie.
act
Good
of
movie.
2 I liked better than the rest of that movie.
Yeah, but it was just Whiplash. It was the
Fucking
same as
third
one. It was
act of
Whiplash.
2 sucked.
Yeah,
And
but
all
the
Iron
War
Man.
Machine going around doing all that stuff. I liked that better than the rest of that movie. I think 3 is better than 2, even though the ending is horrible. But everything else, I'm like, all right, Shane Black's awesome. It's cool. It's a fun
So
story.
It's a Shane Black movie that just happens to be Iron Man, and I think that already makes it better.
Here's my problem. I think I'm trying to put into words my Captain America stuff. My problem, I think, with Captain America is that he doesn't have an alter ego, and I don't mean literally that he doesn't have one, but I mean he never turns it off, right? And we never explore what Steve Rogers lost in the modern world really is. Winter Soldier gives you the closest of I run a lot and I'm alien, I'm isolated from people, but that doesn't make me care about you. That doesn't make me think. And I'm also like, why don't you just fucking like he makes jokes about like how he's I think in one of them watching movies or listening to music or something where he's trying to figure it out. I'd love to see that. I would love to see a movie that explores all of that.
There's a scene from Avengers that they cut of him like exploring New York by himself.
Oh, really?
And just how alienated he feels.
Oh,
He's,
that's
like,
fucking
drawing in
awesome.
a
That's the
cafe,
kind of
but
shit I would love.
But if you want to, I think if you really want to like delve into Steve Rogers, I think the first one's the best one to watch because I think the key that the movies get that a lot of times no one else gets is that you have to write Skinny Steve. And Skinny Steve is what really is the character, and I think the first one's all about Skinny Steve because he's that for a whole act.
Sure.
And even though he becomes this big buff guy, he's still that same guy.
Sure.
So he's still I don't want to kill anyone. I just don't like bullies. That is Steve, and it's like it's not that he wants to fight people and defeat people. It's that he just wants to have other people stop hurting each other. And I think it is a very kind of idealistic, simple motivation, but I think it's a very good one, and because like it gets kind of tiring having all these superheroes of like I'm angsty.
Oh yeah,
Like I got to avenge. Like I need a reason to be good, and like I like
and see, that's where there's the common ground with Superman and him. Whereas like the Superman who is angsty in the DCEU, you're like, all right,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. I mean, they almost kind of got there.
So then what comic book iterations of Captain America should I read to care more about him? Because that's just the thing where it's like he's always been so white bread, milk toast.
That's kind of the thing. What's interesting is in the 5-6 years we've had Chris Evans, Steve Rogers.
Yeah,
there's kind of been no comic that really embraced him. Like the best Cap book in the last decade is about Bucky, and it's the Ed Brubaker Bucky. That's what they all based the second movie on, is his run, but that's really about Bucky. So that's great to read for that. But there isn't, I don't know if there's like a really good Steve book. I mean, it's the movies.
Yeah.
It's the 3 movies. Just kind of go
and see, that's the thing is I like them. I liked Captain America 1. I remember leaving like, oh, that was a fine movie, a fun movie.
Have you watched it since?
Yeah, like TBS here or there. I
would try it again.
That movie grows on me. I hated it when I first saw it.
Yeah?
Hate's a strong word. I disliked it when I first saw it, and every time I've seen it since, I'm like, this isn't
because the campiness is kind of jarring of what you're expecting, because like you kind of want like a Saving Private Ryan. But I think because the campiness, they embrace it, and it's more Rocketeer, and it's more this weird World War II where it isn't so graphic.
Well, I think it helps too, like seeing that character in movies where I do really enjoy him, like seeing him deal with Tony Stark and just the Avengers in general. It's like going back and like it kind of gives it context in a way that I'm like, all right, I'll take this as an origin story, and I buy it because I like where this character ends up.
Yeah, I don't know, and like not to harp on it because I know so many people like the language line and stuff. He just does these weird things that are like so. I understand that you're a man out of time. I understand that you have different values, but instead of feeling like, all right, cool, this guy's trying to blend in, I feel like he's just the buff grandfather running around.
Well, this may be controversial, but I think Joss Whedon writes the worst Steve Rogers.
Ooh.
So I think the 2 Avengers movies have the worst Steve. And because he kind of progresses as a person, and then I feel like the Avengers movies just drags him back with the language lines. It's like after 2, I don't think he'd really care. There's other bigger things for him to worry about than calling Tony out on saying not even that bad of a word.
Yeah.
So
I feel like he's too. I mean, and this is based on just the movies, right? The Marvel Cinematic Universe they presented. He's too hung up on outdated values. I feel like he has way too much, and I know that there's a whole movie of him rebelling or whatever, but he's way too hung up on authority and the way, like, he struggles with it, where it's like, this is not the decision I would make, but they're the Shield and I'm with them.
I would try, if you do a rewatch, just watch the 3 Caps and skip the 2 Avengers. Okay. Because I think that'll give you a different Steve.
Because I feel like even like the 2 out of 3 movies are him rebelling against.
But yeah, I feel like he always just ends up falling back in line.
And I think that's the Avengers movies throws them back in. I think if you just skip those and just go Cap 1, Cap 2, Cap 3, even though the story will kind of be disjointed, it'll give you a better Steve Rogers. Okay.
Now, Tim, being a comic guy and a Marvel guy at that, what's your affection for Captain America?
I mean, I don't like both characters, Superman and Captain America, for the same reason. I do feel like they're very similar. I like Cap in a ensemble piece. I feel it's important to have that leader character that honestly is the least interesting part of it, but you need it to be that focus of just, they are just the goodwill. They are the good one, and everyone else knows to follow them. I think Ninja Turtles is another example. Leonardo's my favorite because he's blue. That's pretty much the extent of that. Leonardo sucks. Leonardo just leads. That's what he does. The theme song even says it. Leonardo leads the team. That's his job. That is his whole characterization. Like, yeah, sure, he's the spiritual one. He's all this. We don't need that at all. Yeah. And I feel like that Captain America is the same thing, and Superman's the same way. So it's like even reading through, like my favorite Marvel run is Ultimates, and
that's gonna be a very different Steve.
And that's a very different Steve, where that is the angsty's not the right word, but he's more of a superhero. He's more 90s superhero of like he has one-liners and like he's a badass.
Well, it's also interesting because I think it's a Scottish. I can't remember exactly what Mark Millar is. He's from the UK, and it's writing at the time of post 9/11, him writing an American character, and it's that very super kind of agoraphobic.
It's just super
hardcore.
He's Captain America.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Not Captain America, I'm a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
And like the line, the fucking you think this stands for France? Come on.
Scottish.
That is the best thing of all time.
Yeah. Okay. Nick, what do you think of Captain America versus Superman? We never talk about Captain America because I always lead the show.
We don't. I don't often think a lot about Captain America. I mean, to me, he's more of the anchor. I mean, like what Tim's saying, right? They're using that character as sort of the anchor for the rest of the group. Obviously, when you have him versus Tony Stark, it makes the Tony Stark character so much more fascinating because he's the complete and total antithesis, right?
Yeah.
Tony's the guy that everyone really kind of like you want to root for because you see a lot of yourself in him. He's a flawed character, and we love flawed characters. They just make for better storytelling. I will agree with you that like, yeah, I mean, he is rebelling, but at the same time, he always seems a bit one note. In everything, and I'm kind of with you on this, Greg, where it's like even though he is going against it, like going against the machine or going against the grain, he's still doing it for that same one note altruistic reasoning.
Yeah.
And so I just don't find a lot of meat on that bone to really like latch onto. Having said that, you can make the same argument for Superman, but Superman, I've seen those stories really well told, specifically in a lot of the animated series that they do. And so I don't think that it's like, I don't read a lot of, obviously I don't read any, I don't think I've ever read a single Captain America comic book. I think you can tell a good story with any of these characters. Obviously, it's just up to the storyteller himself. I don't think that you've seen, I think that Superman has a better potential in the movies to be a better character than I think they're giving Captain America in the Marvel movies, personally. I think that Superman literally is a character that has the weight of the world on his shoulders, and I think the stakes are a lot higher every time he does anything, and they haven't explored that yet. But I think obviously, like, you're talking about a normal human being that has superpowers versus a god. And like when you're at God level, there are so many more cool things I think you can play with. I think you should have more tools in that tool chest.
So I think it's just too much though with that. Where it's like, and I feel like that's why we've seen with the movies. It's too much shit to explain with all the alien off worlds and all this stuff. Where the most interesting Superman stuff is the alter ego trying to figure out who he is, and it's like I feel like we get that through so many other superheroes, and it's like Spider-Man as an example. And granted, Spider-Man is a super small scale story, and I'm not just talking about Homecoming, I'm talking about in general Spider-Man. Spider-Man's most interesting when it's just Peter Parker / Spider-Man in New York doing stuff, and every action affects both of those characters. That's great. I feel like with Superman, you gotta just either shed the Superman stuff and just focus on Clark Kent, as we saw with Smallville, or even American Alien to an extent. Sure. Or do the other way where it's like, no, you're a superhero, which is where you see all the Justice League and all that stuff. But I just feel like it's too much to have great character development for everything necessary to line up to be a good story for Superman or Captain America because of these issues. But I think Captain America makes a bit more sense because he is just one person. He is just that superhero. Right. Like him being a person almost doesn't matter.
And I think with the Captain America being displaced, I mean, he is a man at a time, right? So there is a fundamental flaw there that you can have fun with, and I think they do a little bit in the movies. I liked the line where he's like language, and they did that.
Really?
Like, yeah, I mean, I thought it was indicative of where his character was, right? He realized, because you remember right after he says it, he goes, "Oh man, I shouldn't." Like he gives you that nod of like, "Oh, I'm trying, but I realized that I just screwed up." So and then obviously that contrasted with Mr. Futuristic Tony Stark, like I'm always cutting edge, I'm always the guy that has the quippy comment. I think that has a nice little interplay, and I like Civil War. I like their back and forth, and I like that struggle. I just don't. Again, it's the same with the Leonardo depression. Excuse me,
The Leonardo depression.
The Leonardo depression. Leonardo, your point about Leonardo, which is that like I think it was one of the movies where the whole point was the burden of leadership, right? Where Leo was like, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be the leader, and that's kind of always his story.
What's the Leo Raph? Raph is Iron Man,
right? Yeah, and so inherently you just like Raph better. He's just more of a fascinating character.
He's kind of a bitch.
Raph's a bad motherfucker. How dare you?
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Tim.
Remember in the movie where he like got knocked out for like 2 hours? He's like, is Raph gonna die? Let's put him in the fucking tub.
Yeah.
Well, he's a turtle. I guess that makes sense now. Holy shit. Holy shit. I just realized that. They had to what him down.
I actually have a Superman question.
Yeah.
Because I never saw you talk about it. What did you think of him on Supergirl?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's the thing where that's the Superman we've all been starved of.
Yeah, because I think that's the best one I've ever seen. Oh, this is my favorite.
Sure.
And even like his Clark was like one of the best.
Without spoilers, catch us up. Because I don't watch.
So Supergirl season 1 comes and goes, right? And I think it comes out and you watch it, and it's this weird juxtaposition of all the CW stuff you've seen.
Right.
It's on
Netflix, by the way, and I've been flirting with the idea of
Here's why I like Supergirl.
Okay.
I like Supergirl exponentially more after the crossover with Flash.
I loved. Are you talking about the one where like they bring her and they have to like train against her?
Not even yet. This is the one where Flash runs into her universe and does
the ice cream one.
Yes.
He brings her ice cream to thank her.
I think so. Yeah. But like when he accidentally ran off of his show onto her show on CBS.
Got it.
And when he got there,
Comics.
it was a great way of like I had been watching this and it was like, man, this Supergirl show is not, I don't want to say puffy but it is kind of a puff piece in terms of like there's not really consequences and there's not really horrible stuff happening. At least season 1, I haven't caught up on where we are right now. But when he got there and he starts referencing and mentioning that, and then we're okay, it is the multiverse. Okay, I get this universe now. I get where we are. This is it. And so it is it's awesome. Like, you know how like Flash and he likes having his powers for the most part. But then there is the CW shit. Iris is going to die. This is all going to go on, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Supergirl is just, smileys and everything's awesome. And well, this is cool. And everything's wrapped up nicely in an hour. And so when her Superman shows up, who's the guy from the
Teen Wolf.
Oh, from Teen Wolf, yeah. But from that movie, we liked the baseball Richard Linklater one.
Oh, everybody wants him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right. He shows up and he's that Superman. He is a big grin Superman. I'll stop this. Saves these people and takes a selfie with them, takes off, and it's like, oh fuck yeah! And it's like if you would have put that on into a movie and that was the DC universe, I think people would have been pissed and they would have been like, oh, so this is what I'm talking about. He's too nice. He's too this. But in a universe they've now established as is bright colors and is fun and is. Kara goes to work and really doesn't look that much different than Supergirl. And in fact, in an episode, Grant thinks she figures it out, but they stand side by side. She's like, oh, I guess you're not the same person. Yeah. We're like, no, you're really the fucking same person. Like a million percent. Whatever. Love that. But like, it is the thing where the glasses and a different haircut do it. And like, his Clark is super modern. And like, I think he looks a lot like American Alien Clark in terms of like messenger bag, hip tie, shirt. You know what I mean? He's there doing his thing as Clark Kent and stuff. And it's just a fun iteration of both those characters.
I like the little things of, he shows up to her city and goes, okay, it's your city. You tell me what to do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to showboat you because I'm Superman. I've been doing this for a long time. But like, this is your city. You tell me how you want. I'm here for your support team. Even how they do him in season 1 where he's just a text message. Yeah. But even the text messages are like, hey, I'm really proud of you. I saw what you did. Like, everyone knows Superman can come and just solve all of it, but he wants to let her grow. And he kind of just takes this kind of nice brotherly backseat. To always like, I'll be here if you need it, but I like seeing you do things on your own.
He text messaged her?
Yeah.
They IM a lot too.
Yeah, because they couldn't bring. Yeah,
all right, Superman.
They're cousins.
On Windows.
Don't be a fucking
chat.
pervert.
Hey, Game of Thrones, man. They don't.
Fucking Johnson.
That's kind of the weird thing about Game of Thrones. Like everyone's kind of like, yeah, incest is not so bad.
We're rooting for
yeah,
incest.
It's whatever. There's worse things.
They don't know.
So, you wanted these questions. Are you a big Captain America supporter? Do you love Captain America?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I also like Superman. I was just
Sure.
Like I like both of them. For kind of the same reasons. I was just curious where the divide was because they're kind of so similar.
I think for me, it's just the simplest thing of I've never, growing up and reading comics, and then I've never had anybody be like, man, you have to read this Captain America issue. And so it was just that when I would pop over or I would see something or he would cross over with Spider-Man, he's in this weird, scaly looking uniform with the weird wings on his head. I'm talking about Captain America of me growing up and these weird bell-bottom boots. It's like, who the fuck is this? And they don't do a great. Back then, it's how much do you know about anybody in a comic book? And there are no movies or none of this, and I'm not reading it. So he pops in and he's not. Hey, here's my quick synopsis of I was frozen and I fought Nazis and now I'm out of time. It's just like this guy who pops in like, all right, slugger, whatever, da, and he's gone. I'm like, this guy fucking sucks and is boring as hell.
Yeah, I actually kind of think that he works better not as a supporting character because he always falls into that super authority mode. And everyone kind of uses that as the juxtaposition of like, we're kind of like figuring this out, but then there's Steve who's perfect and knows exactly what to do. And I think it's way better to go with Steve-centric stories. Yeah. Because he's like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Sure.
Everything's caving around me and I'm just trying my best to hold things up because I'm just kind of a better guy. Like my superpowers are like I just run like the best a human can run, not even that fast. So it's all kind of about his struggle of trying to represent an ideal that he doesn't see anymore. And what does that mean? Where does he give up?
And like that's a book I would love to read. What you're pitching, I would love to see someone not reboot, but just start with Captain America 1 and go with that. Because whenever I pop in, I'm just like, I can't connect with this. I'm not finding it. And the movies are the fact of like, I like I said, I liked Captain America 1 and I enjoyed like, nobody can get the fucking flag and he pulls the pin and it falls down and he gets it and gives it to Tommy Lee. And I was like, that's great. But it also was, even then, a very saturated, smiley, poppy movie. And like, while I think that works for a Supergirl show, again, surrounded by shows on the CW that aren't like that, I didn't think it was working well in that narrative there. And like I love that. I don't like bullies picking up the shield, but then again it's the same thing of just like I'm gonna keep trying out to get into the army. Like, okay, cool, that's a great thing in that time period, but I'm aching for a movie that makes me care about Steve Rogers as Steve Rogers and not feeling like, oh, that's Captain America in a baseball cap. Like, that's just Captain America. And I know, so then, and I hope I've stressed this enough in this one and when we talked about it before, comparing him to Superman, I totally know it's just the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
Of like, I can tell you 30 fucking issues of whatever to read that this is why I love Superman, American Alien, go watch Smallville, blah, blah, blah. Like, I have my Superman and my pitch. I just don't have that for Captain America. I've never been able to connect.
So I would take a chance and watch the 3 movies again.
Okay.
With a fresh look.
Now, you work at Marvel. Are you over there? You telling them, like, hey, give me a Steve Rogers book? Let me do this?
It's been broached, but I don't want to like touch Steve Rogers because I think so many people can do it better. And like, there's a Chris Samnee book coming out later this year that's going to be gorgeous, and it's going to be kind of this very, like, Chris Samnee is probably the best artist at Marvel.
Yeah.
So him doing Steve is going to be incredible. So like, why would I even?
How does it work? Work for you? Because you're an artist. Are they? Do you pitch for stuff? Do they come and assign you stuff?
It's all case by case.
Okay.
Sometimes because it's hard to know what they're working on behind the scenes of what they want.
Yeah.
So you kind of just throw, like, every so often I'll just throw, like, if this is gonna happen, like if I see kind of like a rumor or this character is teased to come back and well, I would love to do something like that. But most of the times it's just offers. I think like Captain Marvel, Star-Lord, Runaways, those were all offers of like, hey, we got this, do you want to work on it?
Yeah.
And it kind of comes down to yes or no.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the dream project you want to work on?
Wonder Woman.
Yeah?
I want to do a Wonder Woman book for years.
Fuck yeah, all right. Got to get away from this Marvel. See,
yeah, well, the problem is that the story I wanted to do can no longer work anymore because did you read the Brian Azzarello, Cliff Chang, like the New 52 Wonder Woman?
Yeah, with all the gods and stuff.
When she loses the Amazons, I thought it would be a really cool story of having her make new Amazons by going out to the other superhero women of the DCU and going, hey, you decided to jump into the line of fire. We're all Amazons together. And make kind of like a new Amazons that's just sort of like an all-female Justice League for her. And it's sort of a sisterhood of like, we all decided to be heroes. It wasn't forced upon us. Let's band together and like unite to help. So,
see, Wonder Woman is similar. I think Wonder Woman is actually a great analog to what I'm talking about with Captain America too, where it's so hard to write her because there's Diana Prince, but especially in modern comics,
it's the same
that's
person.
not a real thing. That she is still very much like I'm Wonder Woman all the time.
Yeah, I'm actually curious how long they're gonna do that with the movie.
Oh yeah,
it's like the Diana Prince of like, like no, it's just a tiara. Can no one tell? Like, really?
That's my least favorite thing about that movie was the scenes we saw in the trailers 1,000 times, where it's her like trying on different clothes, and she's like, "How am I supposed to fight in this?" It's like,
now, did you not like it because you saw it so many times, or just like you think you would have liked it?
From the first moment I saw that, it was just like, why are we doing? It reminded me of the language thing, where it's just like, I don't like this.
What's
like,
the language? Oh, yeah, sorry,
Captain America
Steve,
line. It's just like, it's so try hard. Where I loved Wonder Woman, loved it, but those scenes, I was just like, this is only here because it needs to be here.
Well, yeah, we have to. I liked it in the way of like, hey, we're bringing her to our world at the time, and like, how does that work and how does that fit? And that's what I want more.
Cool and
that's what I want more with Steve Rogers. Like, I want the whole Austin Powers montage of him watching DVDs and blowing up the thing in his face and shit. Like, I want to see him not be able to
figure out how to use a toaster.
Instead, it's like, okay, cool. Like, he's just fucking punching a bag, and now he's like, you got a mission for me. Like, this guy only lives and breathes being fucking Captain America.
They kind of jumped over
army.
all that. Yeah,
and it's like I can't. It's just hard for me to wrap my head around a guy who goes to bed, wakes up, and he's like, well, what mission is it today? And like, I know that it exists for people. Like, that's a real thing. But then there also is that they have families and they have this. And when he started, like, I guess Winter Soldier, right? Where he started getting hots for the girl next door who then turned out to be the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent who turned out to be Peggy Carter's niece or whatever the fuck. That was fun. When he finally went and visited Peggy on her deathbed or whatever, like, yes, thank you. Give me, or not deathbed. They'd visited before that. But like, you know what I mean? I wanted more of that. I would love, the reason I like Iron Man 3 is because, cool, here is Tony Stark dealing with the ramifications of being a superhero for this entire movie. Awesome. That's a cool idea. I've seen him be Iron Man in 2 Iron Man movies, let alone, I guess, the one Avengers that had come out at that time. Like, show me more of that. I want to see these characters be human and do different things.
Yeah. All right. What do you think? You said for Justice League?
Yeah. It's that thing where I'm like excited, but I'm also exhausted from having to fight this Batman v Superman thing. It sucks liking something that nobody else likes because everybody wants to fucking talk to me about it.
I think Momoa will change everyone's opinion. I think everyone's going to come on board.
I mean, the hope, right, is that like they don't wait too long to fucking put Superman in this movie. Just fucking get him.
Third act, yeah.
Where don't do that. Yeah, don't do it. Like I keep saying, like when the water shakes, is it going to be the Kryptonian suit punching through the wall of the Batcave and then shitting out his Superman or my dead body?
There was an Instagram. It's the Black S. So he's gonna have like a black uniform.
Yeah, I mean, I assume, but I haven't seen that there's a real one.
Yeah, I mean, it was like months ago.
Oh, really?
Someone just like it was like just like a real close up shot of like the black ass, and like that was it.
I didn't see it. Yeah, I mean, we all assume he's gonna come out in the black and silver outfit or whatever.
But do you think he's gonna come out in the mullet?
I hope not, but I wouldn't be surprised if he had some long
Just a
hair.
beard.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Nicolas Cage.
Well, he can't look too much like Jason Momoa, so they can't go too on that
That's
beard.
true.
That's the big
That's
thing.
true.
And he had to shave it, of course, but he couldn't shave it. But now Tom Cruise got hurt, so who knows what's gonna happen? I hold out hope for Justice League, but like, it's just that thing is every day we have a new news story about a new Joker and a new Batman movie and the struggle and that thing, and Joss Whedon's doing this, and it's just like. I have no. I mean, we call ourselves a garbage truck on fire. That whole universe is a garbage truck on fire, hurtling towards Flashpoint, I guess, where they're going to try to retcon everything. And if they even make it there, every time they announce these movies, I'm like, are you really going to get there?
Yeah.
Is that
There's
really
so many
gonna be?
now?
Yeah.
I think Surfer Bro Jason Momoa will be the saving grace.
I hope so. I mean, I hope. And
Are you saying that ironically?
No,
or are you
like,
saying that
I love it. Like him wooing as he's like riding a parademon down through a building. It looks dope.
You don't like it?
The hair swish.
The thing is, I don't know. It could be good. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. But I've never been a huge Jason Momoa fan. I know everyone was always like, "Oh, he's so amazing as Khal Drogo," but I was like, I don't.
He doesn't talk.
That character,
yeah.
he didn't talk
I don't
much.
think
All
him
he
as
did was
Khal
kind of
Drogo
brood
is
a
amazing. I
little
think
bit.
just him as a person is awesome.
Oh, I'm sure he's a perfectly nice guy.
Throwing axes and drinking beer.
It's that thing where he has a different vibe, and I understand that this is a weird thing to say because the Avengers have different vibes too. I'm not trying to put anybody down, but I feel like what we've seen of Momoa, Ezra Miller's Barry Allen, and Batman, and Wonder Woman, these are all very distinctly different people, and seeing them come together sounds interesting. I really do like, and that's the thing is, I like what I've seen in Justice League. I enjoy I know we talk about it, it goes on too long, but when he snatches it, what's your superpower? I'm rich. Like, there's these interesting things they're playing with. I liked, in the latest trailer when everybody leaves and Flash is like, oh, that's really fucking weird. And then also like, I know you're all set to go in there and save the world. I just run real fast and push people. I'm like, this sounds fun. This seems like it could be cool.
I mean, I remember watching the trailer with you, fucking a couple months ago, whatever it was. And I just thought to myself, well, actually watching it with you obviously makes it like 30% more fun because you're like a kid, you get giddy. But at the same time, I'm like, this is a fun trailer. Now, it sucks because the weight of the world is on this fucking movie. The weight of the DCEU is just like, if this doesn't work, all of everyone will crumble. Warner Brothers, everything will crumble. It's almost shitty because I wish that people didn't care as much. Because then you could literally just walk in and be like, I'm just going to enjoy this movie with see a fucking dude in a bat suit and a dude who's fucking a god. Yeah. Just fucking fuck some shit up.
Yeah.
Why not, right?
No,
but there's just so much more.
No, we deserve more than that, but I wouldn't be against
We got
that.
it already, though. We got Nolan's, we got The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Boom, nailed it. They can't all be The Dark Knight, man. You know?
They can.
They can't.
They can't all
They can't.
be, but they can. There can be more.
But like even Marvel doesn't have a Dark Knight. So like that's the problem. There's no The Dark Knight is the absolute gold standard. It's not even a superhero movie. I hate to tell people. I'm like it's not a superhero movie.
But it is though. It is.
It's not.
It's literally this entire conversation we just had talking about the dynamics between the characters. Like that's what superhero stories are. That's what Dark Knight is. That's what Batman Begins is.
I think the problem with the Dark Knight is that it takes away all the fun camp out of Batman. Like I want to see him fight Clayface or Mr. Freeze, not just another.
Yeah,
dude.
the problem you have.
He's
with
just a dick wearing armor, beating up drug dealers. I'm like, okay. Like I think they're great movies. I just don't like them as superhero movies. I think there's I think that camp needs to be part of it. Like I want this super.
I think they just do so well at doing like crime drama, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? If there was like a Law and Order Gotham, like this I'm playing fast and loose, but you understand that I feel like that's what this would be.
Yeah.
Still, I'm saying like if they blow it all up, give me a very svelte Batman, very detective, like in a real cloth outfit,
super noir,
little pen light flashlight.
I want Great Con.
Give me some fucking, give me some
underwear.
real cool shit.
Absolutely, they should do that. They will do that eventually.
Yeah,
they will at some point.
Well, now that they have the Elseworlds universe, they're starting to build. I mean, everybody can make any Batman movie they want.
That'd be fucking amazing, and that's what they should do. We've talked about this all the time. It's like we don't. If you're telling me that it's legitimately in your brain as an exec at DC or Warner, a smarter idea to retcon all the movies that came before that, or just make a fucking movie. Like audiences aren't like general mainstream audiences aren't gonna get that. They're gonna be like, wait, what? Well, I don't, and they're not gonna fucking care. They just want to see a Batman movie. Yeah. So make another fucking Batman movie. You know how I know that people like that? Because they made 2 Wolverine movies that were pretty fucking good, and they didn't necessarily need to like build into the wider canon of it.
It's such a cop out. They all build into the canon.
To a degree, but not directly 100%, right? Like, yes, you watch Logan, you kind of have to know who Professor X was. But at no point in the canon before that, spoilers, did we ever see Professor X have a fucking conniption fit and kill all the X-Men? We didn't need that. It was just kind of a cool backstory thing that kind of built into his character. Same with like what you're talking about with Batman. Tell a cool Batman story. That's where you start. Who gives a fuck if it's Ben Affleck or if they're, you know, if he's wearing the same costume before, if it even fucking fits in with whatever Joker they're doing. Who cares? Just fucking make it.
Yeah. Comics.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things I remember growing up being like, I would die for these kind of, I wish we had Batman movies and I wish there was, you know, Superman movies and Justice League, and now we're here and look at what it's wrought. Just arguments. We can't just be happy with anything. Black Panther movie. When is that out?
February. Black History Month.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Smart move. Tim, what's your topic?
Horror movies.
Horror movies.
Yes, this spurs from the fact that Halloween is coming up in a couple days.
It was yesterday. It was yesterday.
And
Thanksgiving is tomorrow.
And last night, I saw it.
Oh, you went and saw it?
I did see it. So I don't want to spoil that movie too much, but
Top level it for me.
so top level, I feel like a lot of
spoilers.
people's biggest critique of the movie is that it's not scary. I
Okay.
don't think that's necessarily the point. It's a fucked up movie.
Yeah.
For sure.
Is it like what? I guess it's
Have you not seen it,
No,
sir?
I haven't seen
Okay.
it. I was in Denmark where they don't have movies there. Is it eerie? Is it freaky? Or is it just kind of twisted? Like what?
It's twisted.
It's twisted.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think there's like moments to it that are creepy and scary and like things skittering about and chasing people. And
Yeah.
Even, but that's my question for you guys, right? So I watched the trailer, right? And even when they have that iconic sort of shot of the kid like reaching down and then Pennywise pops up, even that didn't get me. And then they have the shot of the hand and all this other stuff that are like these classic sort of almost tropey shots they put in there, and I'm like, there's nothing. It doesn't look that scary. It just looks kind of freaky.
And I think that's it. It's like I don't know that it's necessarily designed to be a scary movie, and that's why horror. And this is kind of part of the discussion I want to bring up is like, what exactly is that? Because there's slasher movies, there's thriller movies, but it's just like everyone wants to judge those based on how scary they are, right? There's not that many movies that I would say are scary, like legitimately scary. It's actually hard for me to even think of ones that
Amityville Horror.
I would put into that
Which
category.
one?
Like The Shining
The original.
is scary.
The Shining, yeah, I don't know if they'd put The Shining as a horror movie though. Is that classified as a horror movie?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Technically, but
It's
I
like-
wouldn't either. Yeah.
There's
I
all
would
this-
say
So what would you,
that's more
thriller?
suspense.
Kind of thriller, yeah.
there's, like,
Psychological.
ghosts
I think they would say
and blood.
psychological thriller. That's what that would be.
And I feel like that's where things get actually scary. It's just like when it's like weird psychological shit where
definitely.
you're like, this is
You want to talk
fucking
about
with
like
me.
you want to talk about a movie that I think that scares me, like when I think, oh my god, this is a movie that is fundamentally unsettling to watch even now, even though I've seen it like I shit you not probably 20 times. It's Silence of the Lambs. That's a movie. Well, it's not a horror movie. You can't. It's a suspense thriller, right? But you watch
But I
that.
feel like people would put in horror though.
it potentially.
I think
an
it
argument
does
could
go
be
in
made.
horror, but it's more like a crime drama.
Yeah, but it gives you that feeling of terror the entire time, that ominous, that fucking like building, mounting feeling of doom and dread.
I think horror is a broad stroke umbrella that a lot fits under. I don't think Silence of the Lambs fits under it. For horror, for me, trying to define horror, I guess, it would be almost otherworldly in every way.
So there has
In
to
the
be a level of supernatural.
No,
to it?
in that, so stick with me because that's what as I was saying. I'm trying to figure out how I would do it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a slasher flick, but it's also a horror flick. I feel in the way that like this is way so crazy and out of bounds and insane. No, this wouldn't happen.
Sure.
You know what I mean? At least, and it's definitely not to this level. I think that is a horror slasher. That's the movie. Whereas Silence of the Lambs, you could see happening. This guy's crazy
I mean,
and
it's
eats
not-
people.
yeah,
And, you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like Buffalo Bill's kidnapping people in the streets, but he's not. And he's trying to make a suit, I guess. So maybe, but it's like
It's not horror.
It's very grounded. I think it's similar to the way of like the Nolan Batman films, or at least the good ones, don't feel like superhero movies, like they're trying stuff, right? Like they are definitely outside of that in the same way that like I guess technically Buffalo Bill and Leatherface are similar, right? Because he wants to wear this suit.
Yeah.
In the Buffalo Bill wants to wear the suit, and Chainsaw Man, is wearing a face or something. But like
They were both based off like the same real person, right? Ed Gein.
that, I'm not
Serial
sure
killer.
about.
Yeah,
but I think,
serial
but
killer.
you can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
where
yeah, yeah.
one's very much like real, based in reality, and the other is heightened up to 11.
Yeah, I mean that's stylistically the line you have to draw, right?
Sure.
Where it's like one tends to err a little bit more on the side of supernatural, and there's a level of gore and a level of violence that you're seeing on screen. That
But I feel like
doesn't-
that's what
that is
slasher is, though.
But slasher is horror.
But I think
when you say
slasher is part of
slasher,
a
it's
horror.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like Silence of the Lambs isn't a slasher
It's
movie.
not. I mean, I wouldn't say it's.
But I would say
wouldn't
it's a
put
horror
that anywhere.
movie, though.
I wouldn't put it near horror. I would put it as like psychological.
But
crime
I
drama
feel
or
like it
thriller.
is that, but that's under horror in the same way slasher's under horror, you know?
Maybe. I mean,
Like-
horror. I don't know. Horror's
I don't
a
know. Like when you
genre.
think of what are horror movies that you like?
Horror movies that I like, when you think of the classic horror movies in the 80s, right? You think of like, Jamie Lee Curtis is in the new, what's it
Halloween.
called? Halloween, right? Halloween
Yeah.
is a horror movie, right? Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a horror movie, right? These are gratuitous, they have gratuitous violent scenes, they have nudity, they're basically exploitation films to a certain degree. That's what I think of when I think horror. Modern day, maybe It Follows would be like a horror
That's a
movie.
great one. That's a
The
great
Witch-
reference.
or, I'm sorry, not The Witch. Witch would be
yeah.
horror, right? These are movies that Conjuring. These are horror
Conjuring,
movies, right?
Annabelle, and all that stuff.
So I mean, you look at a movie like Silence of the Lambs, and that is, you're right. I mean, that's a movie that to me screams psychological thriller because it's so rooted in reality.
Did
whereas
you
horror
watch
tends to
Hush?
be- No, I did not.
Anybody watch Hush here? I've talked about it on one of the shows. It's Jim from the Newsroom, right? Remember the Newsroom? Okay. The fucking show on HBO we talked about all the time with Jeff Daniels.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
All right, so Jim from the Newsroom, but he's a murderer or whatever. It's this woman who's deaf out in the
yeah.
woods or whatever, in her like glass cabin she has or whatever, and he kills all the neighbors and comes and tries to get in there. He's trying to attack her and stuff, and it's him trying to stab her and kill her. But it's a thriller, not horror for me again, where it's like that's outside of it. That's a thriller or a drama or whatever. It's another one that's kind of based in reality in some respect of like, yep, there are crazy people who do it. Kev, what do you got for me?
I believe Cool Greg watched this movie. I believe it's on Netflix, and he said it was one of the scariest movies he had ever seen.
It's super scary.
and
I'll
it
give it a
kept
watch.
him up. Like it legitimately kept him up.
Yeah.
And my brother loves
Yeah.
horror movies
Yeah.
in general. Like, and he all the slasher movies, like the
Friday 13th.
Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween,
Yeah.
Hellraiser, all that stuff.
Hellraisers.
Have you ever seen
Hellraiser.
The Strangers?
The original, they redid it. Didn't
They
they?
redid it with Liv Tyler.
Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you ever see that one?
I never saw it. No.
Because it's kind of that same thing of like it's three people trying to break into a house where this couple is at in this like tumultuous moment in their relationship, but it's just about three people deciding that like I'm just gonna fuck with you,
Yeah.
and there's no other backstory to that.
Yeah.
And what's really creepy about the movie is that some of the scenes they don't tell Liv what's gonna happen in the scene.
Oh, Jesus.
So there's like scenes of like her standing there and you see someone like walk into the house and stare at her, and then leave.
Yeah.
And she has no idea it's happening.
That's
and so,
fucking awesome.
and that's kind of the scary thing because the director based it off something that actually happened in his town. He based it on the Manson murders and this of just these people deciding that like I can just break into your house
Yeah.
and there's nothing you can do about it.
And see, this is my thing. I love horror movies too, but I love what I think of as horror movies. I like, zombies are. I fucking love zombie movies. I love zombie anything. I love that. I love what we're talking about with like outrageous things. I can watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I can watch Friday the 13th. I can do that. When we start getting into what a lot of people were calling for a while, what are like? Jesus, I'm swinging and missing on every one of my references here. The one Eli Roth movies. What were they calling Eli
Hostel?
Roth? Yeah, Hostel and
torture porn.
Torture
Yes,
porn.
torture porn.
Thank you. That's the kind of shit I can't do because I can't deal with, hey, here is this group of people who are nice. Like I think of the one that Eli Roth, I think most recent one, it was like the Green something or other where the kids are out there. Like,
Green Room.
no, that's not the one I'm thinking of. They're out on like a peacekeeping mission, like Greenpeace shit, and like the natives abduct them and put them all in like wooden cells and start slowly eating them, and they're gonna rape this girl. And it's like, geez, and it's like. That's the kind of shit I can't do. I can't do torture porn because I just can't stand the idea of something bad happening to some good people in a grounded, wavy reality way of like that could really happen in a way like, why? Oh God, why is it got to happen?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the torture porn, I've saw both Hostel movies, and it's like I didn't enjoy them. I don't know why, but I did watch them, and after watching the first, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch the second. Shouldn't have done that. But the Saw movies, I love those movies, and they definitely
Green
range
Inferno,
in
thank you.
quality. I stand by the first three, don't necessarily stand by the others.
Yeah.
I'm excited another one's coming this year, and it's not going to be good, but whatever.
The trailer looked great. I told you, like when I went, they showed it before it, and then granted, I'm there to see a horror movie, scary movie,
Yeah.
whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. And then like when I saw the trailer, I was like, you know what? I'm in the mood for this, so I'm in the right mindset to see this trailer, and this trailer looks cool. I'll go see that.
My thing about Saw though is I don't like it for the torture porn stuff. I liked it for the story and the plot of what was going on to get to all those different scenes. But the recent horror movies we've seen, horror I use very lightly and broadly, is so Get Out obviously happened this year.
Great
and
movie.
That's another one, people, a psychological thriller, whatever.
Right.
And the one from last
Get
year
Out
was
so
Don't
good.
Breathe.
Don't Breathe was fucking
Oh,
fantastic. That was so good.
our
Like,
boy.
that's a horror movie, but it's like there's no special powers. No one's like,
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what-
it's just a
yeah,
dude.
that one
But-
skates a line for me.
See, yeah, I guess technically I would put it in thriller, and
I'd put it in
I don't think a
thriller.
thriller necessarily has to be a horror movie. But it is that thing of like, I mean, spoilers for fucking what was it?
Don't Breathe.
Don't Breathe, which I liked. I did like a lot. But like when you go downstairs and he's got
Yeah.
this
A little
woman,
freaky.
That's where Durant.
But
it's
It's
like
derails
this
for
is
me.
now getting a weird. This is
Still,
starting to
but
dance
how
with
is that
horror.
any different than would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. Like that's the same. That to me had the same vibe of like this is something someone really
this is
could fucking do.
a fucked up person could do
Yeah.
this.
Sure.
How does
Sure.
IMDb classify it? I'm gonna look.
Happy-go-lucky movie they call it. So, Chris, what do you think of horror movies? Are you a horror movie fan?
I am. I tend to kind of lean more supernatural stuff.
Okay.
Because I think it's scarier to me, the idea of something I have no ability to fight against. Like it's not a particularly good movie, but the Mila Jovovich, The Fourth Kind,
No.
is an alien abduction movie.
Okay.
And she plays a psychiatrist, and there's like real footage of what it's actually based on in the movie. But the scariest part of that whole movie is there's a scene in which she's recording her she's talking about a patient.
Yeah.
And she nods off in the middle of the recording, and then you hear the aliens abduct her, and you hear her wake up and start screaming, but she has no memory of this at all happening. And I think it's that fundamental idea of things can happen that you just will never know.
Yeah.
I think that's terrifying. So most of my horror kind of leads, like, I like the Paranormal Activity movies.
Yeah, Paranormal Activity.
They're campy and they're fun. Like that last one was what? Like that was so.
Well, that's the problem with anything when you start
It
trying to
keeps
sequelize
upscaling.
it. Like
It's
when we watched the first Paranormal Activity, I was like, "This is a horror movie I've been waiting for so long."
Did you do like when it was wide release, or did you request it to come to your city?
Oh no, we watched wide.
So we in LA we did the very first requested show, so it wasn't even a wide release yet. And I hope to God they paid this woman, because there was a woman in the back the whole like last night of that movie. She is hyperventilating in the back of the room, so everyone in the theater is just super on
Super
edge,
tense, yeah.
and we're just all like, "What's gonna happen?" So when they kill her and they throw her body or throw his body, everyone lost their shit.
Yeah.
And it was great. And I hope to God that she was like a paid person for this movie. 'Cause, like, it did the best.
the
Like we
director.
were like left it. We were like, everyone has to see this thing now.
Well, it was just that movie was so great. And I know it's like now that they've spiraled it out of control, and like
yeah.
there's all this time and dimension hopping in it. Because I still watch. I haven't played the VR game. I need to do that. But it was like watching that thing when it was like. All the clips made it look like, okay, cool, it's gonna be this, and then like when there's like tracks in the fucking dirt and like her hair's blowing and shit, I was like, this is fucking
fucked up,
epic.
man. Yeah, no, it's cool, and also it was shot in such a unique way.
budge, yeah.
But even during that era, though, even before then, I think was Wreck, right?
Yeah, Wreck was around the same time, maybe
Well, I
a
don't know.
little
I'm not
bit
even
before.
familiar with what Wreck
It was a
is.
Spanish horror zombie film.
Okay.
They remade it here. What the hell did they call it when they remade it?
VHS, is that what they call
No,
it?
no,
here?
VHS was like a collection of shorts.
You're right.
But they-
Quarantine?
Yes,
That's what it was.
It.
Yeah.
That's what
The
it
Spanish
was.
one's way
I've
better.
seen the
Spanish
original.
one's way better.
Or I've seen
And there's
the American.
two, and the second one goes like huge. They become like demons and shit.
Yeah.
But those are really good too. Did you? What was? It Comes at Night came out this year. That I thought was
was
really
that?
good. I thought it was fantastic.
Hated it.
Oh, I hated it.
And I think
too.
it was just specifically just for like my taste.
To give context for viewers out there, we did the Emily Was Away thing. We got drunk. Then we started sobering up, and we were like, let's go out and do something. And that movie had just come out, and we were all like, we've heard nothing but good things. Let's go see it. And the credits rolled, and we all got up, and we were like, that was awful.
Yeah.
It didn't deliver on what we thought
Sure,
we wanted. You know what I
exactly.
mean? It's the same thing where like Mother. It's getting a lot of mixed reviews right
Yeah.
now, and the trailer. We're filming before it comes out. The trailer looks great, and I was like, I'd go see this movie, but I worry I'm gonna get to
real
the end and be
curious.
like, what the fuck?
It also just looks like Rosemary's Baby, and I don't know where they're gonna go with that. It Comes at Night. It's a very slow thriller, like it's a slow burn thriller. So you kind of need to just go in expecting that. And I think it's probably the best made movie I've seen this year. Like I think the directing, the cinematography, the editing, I think it's all superb.
Interesting.
But I know a lot of people who wanted like a real horror movie got real disappointed from that.
Kevin,
It's
This
just
is a
because the
cast
trailer did such a bad job of marketing it, where they use like, I'm not spoiling anything if you've seen the trailer, like the scary like that's like
Yeah,
in
not
there
even
twice.
part of it.
You've seen it now. That's what it is. And you're like, oh, like
Yeah.
I thought this was gonna be a real threat, a real impending
Yeah.
thing.
But I love. Did you ever see that poster they had for it, where it's just like a really badly lit back of a dog barking into the darkness, and you see like a leash. I thought it was the best single horror movie poster I've ever seen. Of like just you don't know what's out there, and it comes at night.
It's a great title, by the way.
Yeah,
oh my God.
And honestly, like there's so much about the movie that was great. Like it wasn't an awful movie.
We were just so deflated.
I ended up not liking because I feel, to me, when it comes to any movie, but I think horror is especially true in this case, is I like rules to be followed in the universe, and I want to know that it's building and it's going to get somewhere. And I feel like that movie set up a bunch of rules and it never did anything with them. It was just kind of like we just saw a slice of something that happened, and I get that that's cool and artsy, but it just feels like, what's the point of putting me in this world if we're not going to have some type of creative use of it at the end?
Yeah.
Did you see Raw?
Raw.
I'm getting the title right. Remember, I tried to get you to go see this movie. It was the foreign
cannibals?
language one.
It's foreign language about a woman who eats.
A girl goes to college, veterinarian school. Yeah. Young vegetarian undergoes a carnivorous hazing ritual at vet school. An unbidden taste for meat begins to grow in her.
What did you think of it?
It was super weird because I went there not 100% knowing what to expect.
Right.
And so like I didn't even know it was a foreign language film at the time, but I sat down and like the subtitles started popping. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Because it was like totally spur of the moment.
Right.
Jen hadn't moved here yet. I was like, you want to go see this movie? You're like, no. And I'm like, I'm in the mood to go to the Alamo and get some popcorn and chill. And so I went there and did it. And like, it was like, it's got
random, like, I just want to go see a movie today. Like, okay, cool. Great.
Yeah. Well, I like horror movies, right?
Yeah.
And like I was in the mood. It struck. And so I went and saw it, and it was like super weird, and you're not 100% sure what's going on. And again, I would put it under horror, but it's because it's like otherworldly. Again, they make her eat this thing, but then she's like, I need to eat raw meat, and she starts biting people. You know what I mean? Like doing like crazy shit, but not like a zombie. Whatever.
Where would you put the first Alien movie then? Is that sci-fi or is that horror?
That's
sci-fi.
sci-fi horror, actually, probably.
It's both, yeah.
That's a horror movie, Kev. Get on your mic and make your case.
Horror.
Because I mean, in the Aliens, it goes full sci-fi. But like the first one is such a suspense thriller. Hunting.
It's
like,
been a long
monsters
time
hunting
since
you.
I saw original Alien or Aliens. Really,
so
I saw it fairly recently,
Alien
and
3 every year,
it's one of those movies that gets me so uncomfortable and like scared, and like I know what's gonna happen, but it just for me like that is a great one to be like, yeah, it's sci-fi, but it's also very horror.
Sure.
God, what a great fucking concept too. Alien. Like how many times is that still? Well, fuck, they've done like 40 Alien movies at this point, but like, man, how beautiful and pure was that film when you first saw it? Where you were like, it is literally just about they go someplace, they find a monster, the monster kills them. That is it.
Yeah. What's interesting about this conversation about horror movies is it's really reminding me of the conversation we did about comedies a while back, where it's happened to me so many times where I'm like, I could go for a horror movie or something, and I jump on Amazon, I look at it, and they're all like 2 stars, 2.5 stars. I'm like, I'm not gonna waste my time on this. But then, you listen to the show. I was in the bad movie for a bad comedy, and I watched a comedy. I'm like, oh, this is funny. It's rated low because it's not fucking.
It's so subjective that like, you get one person who's like, this is a 5, and this is a 1, and then now it's a 3.
What is the girl with all the gifts? Did you ever go watch that?
No, I didn't actually end up watching that. You were the one that recommended that, though, right?
Yeah, I think it does that normal thing we talk about in horror movies, whereas the ending third act, you're just like, there's a weird way to go with it, but up until then, it was super fascinating, super interesting.
I want to give a shout out to Blair Witch Project from
the original.
No, just Blair Witch, the one that came out last year. Did you see it?
Oh yeah.
It's good, man.
It's fantastic.
I didn't watch it. What was the thrust?
I mean, it's just more of an actual story about you see the Blair Witch.
Oh, okay.
Like it is more of
2 frames, but
sure,
that's enough. Like that is enough.
Yeah.
But it's more of a, I'd say, traditional style horror movie compared to the first one. It does have, it's all found footage stuff, but it does creative things where like they use a drone and it's modern.
Sure.
But
it's good.
Yeah, and it has moments that you feel really, it's like Blair Witch Project where it's like the characters start doing fucked up things and it makes you feel uneasy.
Yeah.
And it ended a little bit weird, but even the last 5 minutes were so intense. Like the whole time I was like, holy shit.
I think like the whole last like 30 minutes, like
once they get in the house.
Even before then, I think, I don't know, can we spoil it too much?
Yeah.
Like the Perpetual Night.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I thought the Perpetual Night was a really good way of like amping it up, of like, it's constantly tense for 30 straight minutes.
Yeah,
because I was
at
like,
a point where it never became daytime.
like I wanted to run to the bathroom in the theater.
Was this like a plot point in the movie?
Yeah.
Where they wake up and it's still nighttime.
Yeah, and like it never ends. Like I wanted to like run to the bathroom, so like I'm just waiting for the day to start. I was like,
because
I was in the hallway and I'm like, is it okay? It's just not ending. And I was in there for like 20 minutes. I'm like, it's just not ending. Like I'm gonna go sit down again because this thing is just going. And
I want to see this.
It does such a great job of just like, it's such a subtle move of just like all that happens is just a night. But then because you know all the horror rules of what a night means for a horror movie, that since it never ends, you have this intensity about you the entire time, just expecting things. And it just never stops.
While we're on this thing, I do want to give a shout out to the original Blair Witch, which I'm sure probably doesn't hold up and But the original Blair Witch was the first time me and my high school friends were of age, had cars, had internet, and like I remember there was that real thing of like, is this a real movie or a documentary? And like it finally came to our town after we had like been reading about it online, and we went and watched that movie, and you laughed and you're like, fuck.
Because there's a documentary with that movie too.
Yeah, exactly.
And some news television stations actually aired that documentary. Like, this is a real thing. These people are actually missing.
Yeah.
It's such a great, just little simple marketing.
And it's like, I know that's been done such a million times since then, found footage shit, but like that was the one that like I remember like when they're in the tent and like the children's hands are pounding on the side. I was like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, just the giggling outside.
Yeah.
Such simple little
horror
things.
movies are awesome.
They are. It's sad to me that I don't like horror movies that much. Like
You do, though.
I will watch a horror movie and I'm like, fuck, that was so good. I just don't. I like, for whatever reason, shy away from that experience. I don't know why.
I don't think you do. But my thing is that because since I've known
you guys have all seen it. I'm not going to see it now.
Yeah.
I will not see it until it comes to Netflix,
And
then
that's fine.
maybe it'll sit
Honestly,
on my Netflix queue
you
for
don't
a
need
long
to
time.
see it.
Yeah,
otherwise.
that's probably a good way to watch it.
But my thing with you is like every time that we go see a good horror movie, you're right there with me. You're like, that was really good.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
for
But
Don't Breathe,
I
which
just
I think is the highest one I can recommend.
we have just a good track record of being lucky when it comes to horror movies that we pick. And more often than not, people have to be like, dude, this is a fucking great movie. Like, I didn't watch It Follows for like 2 years until it came out. Granted, it came out I think in limited release, so it wasn't like it wasn't a big amazing moment for horror movies, but. I watched that 2 years later. I think it was on Netflix, and I was like, that was fucking really cool. But then, of course, by then, no one wanted to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
I bring it up all the time.
I mean, because then there's things like Conjuring, for example, that everybody loves. I don't love it.
See, those are movies where I'm like, these just scream cookie cutter.
Yep.
We're trying to make, these are cash grabs, right? These are just like.
But they always hit the right, not always, I should say. Conjuring 1, Conjuring 2. I don't do the Annabelle shit, the spin-off stuff. I don't care.
I like the first Annabelle.
Did you?
I like
Okay.
it broke a horror trope. I think it's really nice. Of like, it had a competent husband for once.
Oh, nice.
Of anytime, because the hauntings are all happening to the wife, who I believe is pregnant with her kid, and at the beginning of the movie she's pregnant, and he's like training to be a doctor, and this is the 70s, so he's like, I have to go to Pasadena from Santa Monica, and like it's such a long trek for him. Like,
Yeah.
I can't come back for 4 days because I'm in Pasadena. It's like, okay. And all this stuff is happening to her, but then she'll tell him, and he goes, okay, well, you're the one living in the house, so I'll believe whatever you say is actually true. And like, you don't have like the paranormal activity problem. Like,
Yeah.
no. Like, okay, but like, I'm gonna go Ouija board this shit. Like,
Yeah.
you're just making it worse. And he does it. And like, when she gets attacked, he handles it. Like, he comes in with a bat. Like, he's ready. He gets like, I think he gets stabbed at one point trying to like protect. So like, it just kind of like had this fun of like, he doesn't actually suck. So there's no one out against her versus this monster.
Yeah,
Everyone's
yeah.
there supporting her, and that actually kind of feels like at least there's a safety net if she's not on her own.
Right.
Because then there's like a neighbor who's helping her with all this. So it's fun. It's not like an amazing horror movie, but I think it's
Well,
fun.
that's the thing is where I think there's so many horror movies that aren't amazing but are good and stick with you, or certain aspects do, right? Like I think of, and there's another one I haven't watched since I was 13 or whatever with my friends, but The Entity. Which was it was some 80s horror movie or whatever, right? But it was a similar thing where like to what you were talking about in the beginning, where this woman's house is getting haunted, the kids are all there, she's a single mother or whatever.
Yeah.
And like they bring her into like a research facility, and the shit keeps happening. Like people are seeing it, and they know it's happening, and they can't stop it. And like her older brother, son is like running in with bats, and I think her ex-husband's part of it at one point. Like it's super weird, and like I'm pretty sure at one point, and I'm really rusty, so stick with me. I'm pretty sure the ghost like rapes her at one point. I distinctly remember being a kid where like in watching this movie where like somebody ran in when she was screaming, and like she was like pinned down, and like they had like the breast going like with a hand, like an invisible hand like massaging her breast or something weird like that. I digress, but I remember it's like I still think about it. That was a fucking horrifying movie because it ends and it's like, you know, she's moved several times. Like it was like based on a real story. She's moved several times, and the shit's still fucking happening, and nobody can stop it. And you're like, Jesus Christ, how the fuck's that possible?
There's so many moments in horror movies where like it really turns me off when things happen and where people just totally don't act realistically. Where it's like shit's happening in this house, it's like get the fuck out of the house.
Yep.
Like, and I feel like it kind of had that problem with me too, where it's just like, man, Fuck no. If this shit started to happen, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking gone. There's
Well,
no dealing with this shit.
The other day, Jen and I were clicking through Amazon and watched a horror movie that was independent, and it was called Hell House, LLC, and it had it's not a great horror movie, but it's independent, so it's fun, and it's got the pitches that there's these like a small business like us, right? That what they do is set up haunted houses every year, and they set this one up at this hotel that turns out that it was really haunted, and the guy didn't tell anybody, blah blah blah. And it's got good creeps to it, but it's all like we're filming everything for a documentary, so it's that kind of found footage thing. And then they piece it together, and it's interesting, it's fun. I don't think not a ringing endorsement, but like they do things I didn't see coming. They do interesting stuff in terms of that, but there's like one of those exact moments where like there's one guy in the group who's the ghost or the haunting house like really fucking with. And like he has like multiple things on video of like, what the fuck is this? And everybody's like, oh, well, this. And like, no.
That's just the wind.
As soon as I saw like the shit, like the mannequin we know whose head doesn't turn and it's in the thing, and then I'm fucking gone.
No,
see you guys. This
Yeah,
business isn't worth it.
Poltergeist, the remake of Poltergeist just happened last year.
I didn't watch that. How was it?
Oh, it was one of the worst movies I've ever fucking seen.
Really?
Crap.
So bad.
Crap.
So bad. And it's just like
fucking love
every
Poltergeist.
action those characters took, I'm like, nah, get the fuck
Dude,
out.
when I was a kid, Poltergeist, the original Poltergeist,
Craig T. Nelson.
fucking terrified
Sure.
me.
Yeah.
And I went
Caroline?
back and I watched it again maybe like 5 years ago, and it is still a fucking creepy ass fucking movie.
The biggest
man. It's
problem
so
with,
well done.
with this genre of horror movie that we're talking about, like the
Hauntings.
Conjuring and Annabelle and all that type of stuff, is nowadays it's all just CG.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that
It's
takes
not
away
fun.
any fear.
not
And that's
fun.
why even with it, any of the moments that could have been scary weren't scary because it's just like, oh, it's a video game.
Right,
Like,
it's not real. The performance isn't there. You're not.
But like
feeling it.
Poltergeist, when that dude got his fucking like face melted off
Which part?
in
of that
Poltergeist, like his face fucking just like melts, and it was like practical that they did, and it was like this. They didn't. There was an actual thing of him melting.
I feel like the only thing I can think of with a Spielberg film where it melts is in
But Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders. Yeah, are you thinking Raiders?
No, I'm not.
I might be
Poltergeist.
confusing Poltergeist.
Anyways,
Whatever.
yeah.
Practical effects, yes, are 100%. And that's one of the
Oh,
reasons
yeah.
I think Paranormal Activity, right, was a scarier movie. Was like her hair is really
Shadows,
blowing and it's yeah.
Well, since I know you don't like The Conjuring, did you ever see Insidious? Because it's the same director.
I like Insidious.
And Insidious, he's like, I got
I did see Insidious.
my own camera. Two friends are lending me their house, and I cut it on my iMac. And it's like super low budget, but he does all this scares without needing.
You know what?
Good
No, I
things.
didn't.
I
see
heard
it.
good
No,
things.
what was the one that made me think of the one with Justin Long, where it was about like the
Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah, how
Sam
was it?
Raimi.
People like that.
That was
lot,
great.
Right?
I didn't see it.
I like Jeepers Creepers better.
Oh, fuck Jeepers
wow.
Creepers.
Jeepers
Jeepers
No, but see,
fucking
now you're
Creepers.
getting
2 is one of my
into-
least favorite movies. 3's coming out.
Now
Really?
you're
I know
getting into
they're
like
doing
soon.
something with it. They're doing something with
You're
that.
getting
Yeah.
into that era of horror that I probably am most
Soured everybody
have
on.
not
90s,
seen.
the 90s horror.
The
Yeah.
late 90s horror that was like once Scream happened.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, "Oh, this is awesome! Let's all try to make Scream for the next 5 years." That it was like, remember, like Urban Legends. I know what you did last summer. I
Shout out
still
to
know
that,
what you
though.
did last summer.
Yeah,
Whatever the
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
it was, and it was
Yeah.
like, "Oh my
No,
god!"
Drag Me to Hell was, I stayed away from it forever because people know I like horror movies. Like, oh, you should watch this. And I was like, no, like, the premise is, right, that this girl doesn't give this lady a loan and basically she curses her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, we're falling into my thing of like bad things happening to good people.
Right.
And they're like, no. Like, and you watch it and it's like classic Raimi. It's like Evil Dead Raimi. Where at the end, like, there's all these like cameras like that. And it's like the girl fighting back against like a corpse. You're like, all right, yeah, I see what we're doing
okay.
here. But again, like the last scene of that movie is like one of those that's like seared in my brain of like, whoa, that was fucked up. Like, that's cool. That was a fucked up
Yeah,
thing.
maybe
to
I'll
do.
watch it.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
should check it out.
It's fun. Yeah.
Topic number 4.
Number 4.
Mine. But we're just stealing it from Twitch chat. Today we hosted the morning show.
It was great.
And in it, Stephen Cool 2 said, if you had to die by the hands of any pro sports mascot, who would it be and why? Then he says, smaller the mascot, slower, more painful death. Oh, Jesus. Now, what I want to float
that
out
in
there,
mind.
but I want to add to this. I almost added to in the morning show. You stopped me. I want to throw out any mascot of any kind.
Not pro sports. Just anything.
Yeah, pro sports is we're limiting ourselves too much. Benny the Bull's gonna gore me or whatever. No, like I want to float out there. If you want a fry guy, if you want Twinkie the Kid, if you like, these are real things that could come for you. If you want the Noid,
I want to take on the king.
Well, hold on. There's an important thing to note
Not
before we
take
go
on.
further with this, because he did say that if it's a smaller mascot, then it'll
It's going to
take
slowly kill you. Yeah.
Aren't all mascots the exact same size?
in
'Cause they're
pro
just-
sports.
Yeah.
That's when I started thinking through his question. I don't know if he's saying
Because the Charlotte Hornets, right?
sure.
Is that a team?
Yes.
The Hornets.
Well, now there's the Hornets. Yeah, the New Orleans
Whatever.
Hornets.
Are we fighting against the Hornet or are we fighting against the Hornet?
It's a big ass hornet.
Here's my thing: is my first interpretation of it was guy in a suit. You're fighting against the guy in the suit.
Mascot.
However, and I'm throwing them in there. Everything suck it. Not pro, but we're thinking collegiate, right? Like the Georgia Bulldogs have the guy in the suit, but they have a little bulldog on the sidelines too. I would include him if you wanted to fight. And I also don't like whose hand do you want to die by. I like the idea in this horror-themed episode. We're making a horror movie, or this is a horror story. Who we're fighting against here that has some kind of supernatural mascotty powers?
That's why I say the Burger King guy, right?
The king.
The king.
Sneak King.
Okay. Here's why I want to take this motherfucker on. He'll probably beat me, but I don't like his ass. And if there's even a 1% chance that I can fuck him up, I'm trying.
Well, here's the thing.
He's a
Nick.
weird
I like
motherfucker.
this for you because he's going to kill you.
Yeah.
But how would the king kill Nick Scarpino? I
don't know.
It involves his
Carbs.
dick. I'm going to tell you that
It
much.
involves his dick.
He's going to sneak up on you and it's not going to be
He's
good.
going to spear me in the butt with his
He's going to
pee-pee?
wrap it around your neck.
Jesus,
no.
that doesn't sound on brand at all.
Strangled by Doinker?
You tell me the Sneak King isn't going to fucking do some real bad shit to Nick Scarpino?
Freaky, man.
But I think it would be if I'm envisioning him as a Freddy Cougar type. You know what I mean? Where
the
he's like,
sneaking guy with
he's
those
playing
dead
on your
eyes.
fears and your things, and you're gonna see him like sneaking out behind shit. You're running. It's almost like It Follows.
Like everywhere you go, you turn around and there's a burger.
You
a
know
fucking
what?
Whopper
Actually,
on your
here,
desk.
let's
Like,
establish the rules of Sneak King.
Whoppers.
Sneak King is sneaking up on you at all times, like It Follows.
Yeah.
However, he is also very much like a Boo from Mario. Where if
So
you
you see
spot him,
he stops.
you can just keep moving away from him, and he can't move. He stands there and just does the fucking face thing to
Right.
you. You can get away, but obviously you're
Okay.
gonna get in a car at some point.
Okay.
You're gonna lose sight of the Sneak King. A car goes by, he's gone. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but you can spot him and do it. So then when he gets to you and gets you from behind, as the Sneak King would have to do, I think he'd muffle you with like a burger. And like he'd shove buns down Nick's
God, what a horrible death.
Yeah,
Death
just
by
eat through it.
Whopper.
yeah, death by Whopper. Yeah, he's shoved in there. Maybe it's a chloroform burger. You know, he's playing,
man.
but it'd be carbs for you for sure.
Yeah, that would suck. He just stuffs just all those amazing golden crispy fries from Burger King, which I hold is still top 2, maybe best fry from any.
You put them over McDonald's fry?
Fuck yeah.
It's a bold claim.
They're thicker.
No, I know. I've
got
had them.
thickness
They're
to
good. But the other day, Cool Greg was eating McDonald's in the other room, and I went in there and had some of his fries. Like, these are fucking good.
I went to
McDonald's fries are
I went to
fucking good.
McDonald's with Cool Greg and Andy the other day.
You
and
came back with
it
that
was
incredibly
a
sad.
nightmare.
Why was it a nightmare?
It's fucking packed. It was
Oh.
packed.
Is that one of the
It's near high
touchscreen
school.
McDonald's too?
It was and there was a line, and then there was a line to use the touch screens, and you're just waiting there, and everyone's bumping into each other, and no one's looking at each other. No one wants to be there. They're just there for that fucking sweet drug, you know?
Yeah.
They're just trying to get their fucking fix.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk to you. You know, and they have.
Do you wanna
they
talk to
fucked
them?
up? No, I don't. I'm one of these people. But they also have one of the soda machines
you
that
wanna
I'm
talk to them?
conflicted on.
The freestyle.
The fucking weird ones that have the touch screen.
Yeah,
I'm
freestyle.
like,
Yeah.
But the touch doesn't really work that well, and you can see the fingerprints on it and it's sticky as shit. But they have caffeine-free soda. They have like Coke Zero, and I'm like, this is pretty cool. But I'm a fucking man.
Coke Zero no longer exists.
Andy was
What is
drinking
it?
Zero
Coke
today.
free now?
Now it's called, what is it?
I think it's Zero Coke.
Oh, it is. I got hooked on that shit in Denmark. They don't have Diet Coke there. It's not very prevalent. And everywhere I go, I'm like, can I get a Diet Coke? And they're like, we have Zero Coke. And I'm like, I don't. That's confusing to me with your accent, sir. I can't. I don't know.
Zero sugar.
Zero sugar.
Yeah, they're
Coke.
called Coke Zeros still.
No,
Coca-Cola
they're not.
Zero
No,
sugar.
Coca-Cola Zero Sugar.
But look, the Zero is bolder. So it's meant to read Coca-Cola Zero.
This was a big deal
sugar.
a couple weeks ago, Nick.
Was it?
That was a rebrand, yeah.
Good for them. It's good.
But I came by your desk, yeah, and you had your little 2 saucers of double cheeseburgers, no buns.
Yeah.
It was very sad looking.
It was sad. And I'm also kidding myself because I'm pretty sure those cheeseburgers have fucking like, you know, there's
Sawdust.
Yeah, sawdust. And they don't have
Yes.
sawdust.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, goo.
Chris, what mascot would you want to fight?
If we're gonna go off theme, Hamburglar. Hamburglar.
Oh, okay.
Because I think he's got shit to steal, so he's gonna do it quick.
Yeah.
He just needs me to be dead so he can steal stuff. Like, I
But
don't
he was always so bumbling. He always got caught, right? So
Well,
I feel like
McDonald
he's
got him
going
every
to
time.
fuck up your
Yeah.
death.
yeah, but I'll still be dead. That's all I'm
Do you
worried
think
about.
that? So if I gave you these 2 options, Hamburglar, or you could take on you could take a shot at the champ, fucking Ronald McDonald.
McDonald himself.
See, I was thinking
What are you
about
gonna
that, but like he's
Because
like
if you
what?
killed him, you'd be a national treasure.
Yeah, but he's like a full-grown guy, and
He's
I'm
a fucking
short.
dude.
Like,
Yeah.
I think he can do some
got
shit.
length.
Yeah, I know. I think he just kicked my
Yeah, fuck it, yeah.
ass.
Those big ass
He
shoes.
seems like the kind of clown that would be like a Pennywise or Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Where he'd throw the punches and his arm would extend and have that red and white, like,
Yeah.
whatever pattern.
Like arms.
like
Well,
arms.
that
exactly
I'm
like
thinking
arms.
he's just like a street brawler. Like he's just gonna take off his
yeah,
shirt
yeah.
and he's
Oh,
just
shit,
ripped.
he's hella ripped?
Yeah,
What was that?
Just
Like
gonna
day to day?
beat you.
What was that music video we watched for all the mascots? When there's a GameOverGreggy show topic
yeah.
about it. Doesn't matter.
Rad Anthem. Is
Rad
the name of the
Anthem.
song.
Yeah.
Okay,
Check
okay,
that
yeah.
shit out.
Funny video.
So fucking dope.
I do. I mean, well, ones that I think are terrifying, right? And now we're all old people here, not Tim, but you remember when McDonald's had like the cinematic universe of different, and you remember they had the chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
That you'd open up the thing and there'd be like 6 of them in there with their little eyes fucking bopping around. Like those guys would be terrifying to try to fight because they're
They would
going.
take forever to kill you
They-
based on
they're
those
going-
rules.
Exactly.
They would eat you.
They'd be like scarabs from the Mummy, where they'd go under your skin
Yeah.
and shit,
Oh,
and like
God,
be in there
yeah.
destroying you,
Or
eating you.
they just kind of pile on top of you, and they just keep piling on top of you until
Suffocate
they smother
me?
you, and all that's left is your eyes, and
Sure.
you see the terror in them as you're
Sure.
slowly fucking dying.
Yeah, I'm like that one.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
that's terrible.
The Noid I don't like either because he would fuck with you for a long time before. He'd be like a gremlin, but he's like a dumb gremlin. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Noid looks like he got kicked by a mule and then came out to fight you. So like that's the thing. Like he's not all there. He's like fucking with your car, but he's not like blowing you up. It's just
you
there's
can't
no
figure out
brakes.
how it works.
Yeah.
Just keying it a little bit. You're like, motherfucker.
Just
get it over with.
I mean, if it'll last like 60 years, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
You know, I still got a full life in. before
No,
it's
but every
60
chair
years.
you sit down in, it
Format.
slowly breaks.
Yeah, he's just fucking.
Your plane isn't crashing; it's just getting delayed. And you can't,
Yeah.
he's not on the wing, but he's not really.
He's not fucking with Tim because he thinks Tim's me. You know?
His one
fucking
fucking
idiot.
doinker down, other doinker up.
Doinker.
Fucking the
Got
Noid.
hit by a mule.
I'm gonna go with the San Diego chicken. Is that still a thing?
Oh, I don't know if it's still a thing, but I definitely know the San Diego
a real
chicken.
sports thing, or was that just a fake thing that I?
I mean,
somehow
that's from
came
our
across?
childhood that the San Diego chicken stuff. Kevin, can I get the San Diego
My thing about
chicken?
the San Diego chicken, he's just there to have a good time, right? He's
Sure.
just there to have fun. He wants to party. He wants to annoy the shit out of people. I'm down for all those things. I feel like it'd be a fun night of all of us just hanging out, and then he'd accidentally kill me. He wouldn't mean to. It would just happen. OD. We'd probably OD on something.
Okay, I think
know,
it'd
that's
be
how that ends.
it'd be more likely
Yeah.
he'd blow out like the pilot light on your heater and you
Like,
die.
can you
of, like,
imagine me
something.
hanging out with this guy?
San Diego
Just
chicken,
doing a
also
fucking
known as the
all-night
famous
binger?
chicken, the
He also-
KGB chicken, or just the chicken, is a sport mascot.
He also looks like he got kicked by a fucking mule.
You know what?
I like that it tells you who.
He looks
who's
sad.
where.
He looks like his San Diego family died.
You know who I'd really want to die by?
Who's that?
Barney. That motherfucker wrapping his goddamn
Oh, he'd
purple
kill
arms
you,
around
man.
me.
Ooh, Barney.
And as he's slowly, I love.
Look at how sad the
I'd
San
say-
Diego
oh,
chicken
Jesus, that'd be
looks.
terrifying. That'd be terrifying.
How sad is he?
Kevin is. Oh. Kevin's showing how sad the San Diego chicken looks in this. Look
Yeah,
at
he looks
Oh.
fucking.
It
jerky.
looks like he's breaking news to this one boy. His parents are dead. We don't.
It's like, your parents
That's
fucking
the one who did it.
And the
Man.
coach watching him.
Oh, God. He's looking at paper.
Number 21, we have terrible news. During the game, your father had a heart attack and your mom flipped the car trying to drive him to the hospital.
You're now an
Kevin has
orphan.
highlighted currently the chicken continues to make appearances annually across the United States. As of 2015, he is reported to have made 5,100 appearances in 917 different facilities, 50 states, and 8 countries, wearing out more than 100 chicken suits.
I'm going to read the next
Wait,
line because
no.
I think it's even better. In August
Oh,
2016, Gallicanokis was still making appearances after 42 years playing the chicken. I'll bet at a slower pace.
Not Gallicanokis. That's not the.
Whatever.
that's-
The
Here
bad
we
guy from Super
another
Bowl.
highlighted from up here. Following an incident during an NBA game in 1991, a Chicago, Illinois jury ordered the guy who plays the bird to pay $300,000 to a Chicago Bulls cheerleader, allegedly injured when the chicken tackled her on the basketball court.
That's a Greg Miller move right there.
Yeah.
My question about his appearances in the last few years is he invited or is he just showing up?
This sounds
randomly?
like he's just popping around, right?
See,
So he's just
yeah,
like
I
the
got
clown
that.
from last year, just showing up places.
He
It's
just
like,
won't.
Oh,
give,
the
he
fucking
won't give the
clowns,
costume
yeah.
back. You know.
I like that tweet when it started happening and that the police were like, "We did this last year. We're not doing it again."
Hey, I got to say, I'm very impressed that it's one dude.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was like
That plays the chicken.
a lot. Yeah, like it's Gallicanokis or whatever the hell. Like
Zach
he's always been
Galifianakis.
that.
I like you. It's
Cocaine's a hell of a
Are you
drug.
saying it wasn't Gallicanokis?
He's the bad guy in Super Troopers.
Yeah, that's right.
I just watched Super
I
Troopers
love that.
with
Which-
Gia for the first time.
How was it?
She loved it,
What'd
which
you think?
blew my mind. Oh, it's fucking. I mean, I've
Still
seen it
holds
many
up, right?
times. Oh yeah.
God damn, Super
So
Troopers 2
fun.
coming out.
Oh,
420.
yeah, 420, bro.
420, bro.
I'm trying to think of like, kids are always scared of mascots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're terrifying.
Like Jen's scared of that snowman from Bone,
So
Canada.
that's
or
the
whatever.
funniest thing. I was at Greg's house a long time ago, and Jen starts talking about this goddamn made-up mascot they have in Canada, and she seems legitimately terrified. And I'm like, "What are you even talking about?" And she starts singing this song, and I'm like, "Nope, no context for me. We start looking up YouTube videos of this, and it's a thing that is the least terrifying thing of all time. And she's just
a stick.
she's fucking shook, man. She can't.
She
even
doesn't like
handle it.
mascots.
Can we try to find this? What's his name?
What is
Bobobi?
it?
No.
Boo
Kevin, was this during
Bon
the
Bobo?
Kind of
Happens-
Honeys?
No man.
Everybody, let's yell at Kevin at the same time. Was it during the Kind of Funny podcast, the exclusive that where Jen talked about Bohm Carnival or whatever, that
No.
snowman that does the kicks?
No, snowman that does the.
I mean, like, here's the thing: is I'm not gonna be able to spell it, and I don't think we have
I'm
enough.
gonna Google snowman that does the kick.
No, it's
Canada.
like Bon Bo.
Canadian.
No, it's like Bohm Carnival or some shit like that. It's French as hell.
Means
A
happy
weird horn plays, and then this weird ass snowman comes out.
What reminds me, what would be a fun mascot to die from is the Pillsbury Doughboy. You just feed me to death. You just feed me to death. Just for
Also,
like,
you could last a long
Poke
time.
you in the
without
stomach.
me.
yeah, just like laugh. Like,
You
laugh
like it,
some-
motherfucker.
I would like to. I would like to
Oh,
kick
Bon-
those fucking cows from Chick-fil-A right in the udder.
Oh no!
I hate those fucking
Fuck
those
you!
guys.
No, the
Fuck
cows are
those
cool.
stupid names.
The
No, they're
cows have been getting to
Cool
that.
with the
Sim. There he
backwards
is.
K.
It worked out.
That is
there he
Need more
is.
chicken.
Terrifying.
Fuck you. Kick you in the gut.
Kevin,
you
show-
Look up a YouTube video of this son of a
That
bitch.
face is
That's terrifying.
What
That is.
the
That's what
fuck?
Jen's horrified by. Hold on. I'm gonna
He's
take a
gonna
photo and
slit your
text it to
throat
Jen.
and smile.
His name is Bon Homme, which
Like
means good
he
man.
slits your throat, and
Is that
it just
correct?
the last thing you see is your fucking red arterial spray all over his white fucking outfit. You're like, Jesus Christ! Then he's clean again. You don't know how he got it out.
You know, story about fighting mascots that I guess I've just totally blocked out of my
The
mind
Easter Bunny.
for the last 20
Yeah.
years. When Kevin and I were younger with my brother Cool Greg.
Cool, Greg.
We went to this place called Westlake, which is this mall near us. A very different setup than it is currently. There's this long stretch of road that used to just be part of the mall. And I don't remember exactly what happened, but we were walking in and it was Easter time and the Easter Bunny was there and you can go sit on the Easter Bunny's lap and take pictures.
Yeah.
He was also walking around
That sounds
giving away
weird.
candy.
Yeah.
That's no.
That
I'm
is
aware.
where
This is
the
a real thing that
problem-
happens. Yeah. You got mall Santas. You got Easter bunnies in there. Yeah?
Yeah, I know that, but do you sit on their lap?
Not
Yeah,
the Santa, you do. The Easter Bunny,
the
maybe.
Easter Bunny,
Sure.
yeah.
You pay extra, you go in the hot tub.
money.
It's
Just very forward.
Anyway, I forgot what happened, but Kevin ended up yelling at him.
No, he was walking. To be totally clear, he was walking
You're so
around
sick.
giving away candy, and we were
And
like,
Kevin got real excited.
"Hey, can we take more than one piece?"
And he got kind of like, he was the Easter Bunny, so he was all
Can't
like,
talk.
Yeah, he wasn't talking. He was like, you
And
remind me
that
of
shit, let's just say, was real confusing.
It was confusing. Kevin took way too much candy, and it turned into a dramatic chase scene where this fucking bunny
I
rabbit
believe he punched
ran
Greg,
after us
right?
and then punched my brother. He was very upset because
How
we took
old
his
are you?
candy.
12.
I don't know, probably like 12.
So Cool Greg's 10ish.
Yeah.
Wow. He punched
He's a big
him.
10-year-old.
How hard
though.
did he punch him?
It wasn't so much a punch
No,
as much as
like
it was
a
like a
get
push.
away from my-
yeah,
yeah.
like get the fuck away from me.
But it
Yeah,
was
we got chased
definitely-
out by the Easter Bunny.
Kevin, go ahead and show it up. You should toss
Whoa,
Bohm
this
Bohm
is fun.
Carnival
What's
up here.
happening
Yeah.
here?
It's Quebec. This is what they do in Quebec.
They're getting bikinis
Now, at some
in the
point,
snow.
he's gonna do this really lame kick that's his
watch me whip.
move. Actually, you know what?
Nay, nay.
I'm taking it all back. What I need to do is get this and not tell Jen, but get this suit. Get this suit
that
for
it?
Halloween.
Oh my God.
That is a high
Yes.
weight.
I mean, here, hold on. He's warming up. There it is. That's his move.
And that's like the
his
big
fucking
thing.
move.
Everyone goes fucking crazy.
Now, according to Jen, and I've never looked this up because I like her story better of why she's like terrified of this. She's terrified of mascots, but this is the king of her fears. But is the fact that nobody knows who it is, she says. Which I'm like, babe, there's no possible way. But this motherfucker's just showing.
He's got ears.
They're flashing the
What?
Bohm Carnival siren or whatever, and he's fucking coming
Just
out.
shows up for the kick.
Oh man, I love the idea that Bon Carnival doesn't start until Bon Homme pops out of nowhere.
Well, that's the thing is like she always talks about like there's like in the parades there'll be like this, and then he like comes.
Summon him from the. Is that a plastic head?
Oh yeah.
So creepy.
What?
Lord.
The
Look at him
hell?
touch
Stop
that kid.
touching children.
Then look
just
at
hanging
these
out
are
with
like
all
the
these
two
naked
sides,
people.
right? These are the two sides of Bohm Carnival.
Spring break
He can be
and-
with the kids, or he can be stealing your
You
woman.
see him just straight
Oh
up.
God.
Oh, Kevin,
Kevin,
Google me. This is
on
gonna,
it, I'm
we're gonna
on it,
make
I'm
we're gonna
on
make
it.
an Annabelle doll for Jen. I'll just leave it in the bed, like tucked in.
If you find an endless supply of these, it's never going to stop. We're just going to keep
We got a
buying
breaker
them.
of it. We got a breaker of it.
Putting them in
Kevin is
places.
going to Amazon to find some Bohm Carnival.
This reminds me
Joey's
though,
just shaking her
another
head.
mascot costume
just
that
like,
I'd
stop.
want to die from. Crash Bandicoot.
Oh,
want to look me in the
see, I
eyes
don't like
from
that
his
scene
mouth.
in the
Argue with them
man.
to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
nothing on Amazon.
Or you just make you work out until you die.
Then just
Yeah.
now expand the search. Bohm Carnival, anything.
I'm
Backpack,
already
toys, stuffed
looking
animals.
into it.
See, yeah, that's the thing. I was thinking about the Easter Bunny, right? Easter Bunny, I've always thought goofy and dumb, whatever. But like when you get an Easter bunny, usually in a TV show, not in a mall, where it's the guy who's got the rubber nose on his face and then the ears, and like I'm like, nah, dude, I'm not about that life.
I ain't about that at all.
I don't want that guy with the buck teeth thing he does.
that shit.
Yeah, he can't put his tongue anywhere near me. You know, if he can get his tongue out of his costume easily, I don't want any part of that.
That's where you draw the
part
line.
of
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
I like how you looked at me like I was crazy, and you said under your breath, if you pay him extra, you can go in the hot tub with him.
I'm just saying what happened in the Stratford Square Mall in Bloomingdale, Illinois. Those were the offers. You'd get on the Easter Bunny's thing, and he's like, if you give me more, you can go to the hot tub. And I mean, we never had
Why do
more.
you have to pay him to be molested? Why can't he pay you?
Why? I mean,
Why would that make any sense? Give me some money and I'll
he
fucking
needs
molest
to
you in a
make
hot tub.
money.
Jesus Christ.
You're a kid who doesn't want to go to a hot tub. Here we go. All right, that's terrifying.
Fuck.
$200 worth it.
And but look, it's like we just saw what the costume's supposed to look like. That does not
Customers who bought this item also bought.
The giant Pikachu.
show this every. Yeah, there you go. Sorry, this product's
A giant Pikachu that
What's
we
the-
own.
what's
We
that-
do own that giant Pikachu.
What's that profile doll? It's just staring
Yeah,
off.
that's
at the
wholesale
Pikachu.
hot Helen.
She's just staring.
Dottie
at the Pikachu.
McStuffins.
Oh, from Doc McStuffins. I know her. That's terrifying.
Like, why didn't they use a photo for facing forward?
Yo, why is it looks like the second part of the fucking
Mugshot. Yeah. Put the lines behind her as she does this. Jesus
She's
Christ.
Oh,
already
man,
3
it's
feet
sold
tall.
out.
Yeah, I know. We'll figure it out. We'll crack this. We'll find a way to traumatize my wife. Don't worry about that.
This would be the funniest thing in the world if you showed up in that.
She
thing.
would get really upset though.
Yeah,
in,
she
like,
would get
all
really
reality.
mad.
Now,
Like
here's the thing.
she, when we're like, I
We
forget
set
where we
up a
were.
prank video. Don't do it on Halloween. Let's just
Yeah.
fucking
Oh yeah,
scare us.
yeah.
Tonight,
Tonight.
before anyone in the fucking watching live
Man,
spoils
some
it
of
for
these companies are not even trying.
That what the
Still
fuck?
terrifying now.
Canadian face
They're all
paint supplies.
terrifying.
Lord.
It's a
Now,
rental. and
here's the
yeah.
thing, Greg.
Yeah.
Imagine you give one of us the key, and by one of us, I mean Kevin,
Yeah.
like
I'm
Kevin did.
in.
to your house.
Yeah.
And you just fucking have this guy, Kevin, in that costume,
Yeah.
fully in character,
Sure.
in the house.
Yeah.
Hide him in a closet. Hide him.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly the layout of
His
house.
closets.
Hide him
You got a
somewhere
big
good,
closet.
right? Jen comes home. Make sure you're not there. It's just Jen. All right.
Okay.
You got to be there.
Now here's where things get real.
Yeah.
She hears the horn.
Baby, what was that? It sounds like the Bone Carnival song.
And then, but no, you're not there. It's just
Oh,
her
sorry,
and
sorry.
the horn. You play it really light.
No, now you
All
see,
right.
hold on. I'll jump. I already got this plan because I can control the Amazon Echo and play music off that. Sometimes when I like to fuck with her, I'll play the Ghostbusters song when I know she's home, just chilling out in the living room when I'm not there. Let's go.
See, but what I want though is I want you to just put up those little
wanna
Bluetooth
put out-
speakers all over the house.
I want to
Okay.
put out, I know how to play the French horn.
Okay.
I'm a horn player. So
We're
if
there?
you need me
All
to
right.
stand outside
And do it.
and do it, I will do it.
Okay, that could be the
occasionally.
one to set it off because
Okay.
then she'll hear it outside and she'll be like, "That's weird. That kind of sounds like the thing." But then throughout the house, I want it getting progressively louder, playing the horn sound, so she's freaking out,
Yeah.
hearing it in surround sound, realizing it's in her house.
Okay.
and then Kevin fucking pops out of wherever he pops out of.
We'll see.
All of it on camera.
Now here's where I see what I
All of it on camera.
the way to amp it up is that I'm with her. And we walk in and it happens.
Yeah.
And then Bohm Carnival walks out. And then you guys flip it on me and Kevin walks in behind me. And I'm like, he's like, I lost the suit. And then this just Bohm Carnival's in there.
So it's just Scooby Doo.
Another great way to do it would be you remember a hallway at least, right? You come out of the
Yes.
elevator and you walk down this hallway and the lights turn on via motion, right? So we just have whoever it is, Bone Carnival at the
Sitting
end of
there
the
for 10
hallway
minutes
just
till the
standing there.
lights
It
turn
says
off.
nothing.
Fucking kick.
I'll go you one better. You both come home. She goes into the room.
Yeah.
Bone Carnival comes out. She's terrified. You come in dressed as Superman. Don't break character. You guys fight. One of you dies.
Oh shit, that's great.
Why don't I come in with my Ghostbusters outfit?
You're making more sense.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Game Over Greggy Show each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table. Each bring a random topic of discussion for your amusement. If you like that,
Oh, you're so sweaty.
go to Patreon. It's hot as a motherfucker in here. There's no fans. Go to patreon.com/kindafunny where $1 gets you the access to watch us record these shows live. 5 gets you the MP3 early. 10 gets you the video early. If you have no bucks to toss our way and support our small business, no big deal. Head over to youtube.com/kindafunny where we put up the whole show topic by topic, day by day until it goes live as one big video and MP3. Kris, thank you for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being a best friend and putting us in comic books and such.
Yeah, that's great.
Everybody pick up Runaways.
Yes, please.
Go back and pick up your old stuff. Star-Lord.
Star-Lord, Captain Marvel,
Yeah.
Uncanny X-Men.
Okay, cool. And then follow him on Twitter. Look for his next stuff. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it's been our pleasure to serve you. Thanks for watching the Game Over Greggy show, everybody. Click up here to subscribe. Click down here to go to the Patreon. Support us there. You can get a Team Fat apron. Click over here. You get to look at other videos we've made. And click down here, and it's going to be something just disgusting that Cool Greg finds. I want it to be about like a beetle or a bug or something.